Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're burning. Let me know if the music is a little too loud or soft, whatever it is. Welcome to Legends of Avantris, episode 50. Wowie zowie. Can you believe that? 50 fucking episodes.
15.
Almost a full year of weeks of episodes.
That's pretty wild.
How about that?
Say that again. A full year of weeks of
that means we only missed a few weeks out of the whole year last year. That's not bad.
Oh, I get it.
You missed like 20 weeks.
52.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
It could be worse.
It's not, yeah.
It could be worse. We're going to do better this year, we promise. Anyways, we are a mature stream. We are a bunch of nerds that embarrass ourselves for your entertainment. We have been playing together for a whole long time, over 3 years at this point. In summer of 2015, we started this very campaign in...
That doesn't feel like...
In 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons.
Y'all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Richie was peeing on my embroidery machine.
Yep, that's what it is. You flash your cooters if you got them. I do a lot of homebrew business up in this biz. So if I do anything wrong, let me know. But it might just be homebrew, and I can just be like, well, that's my excuse.
And then you'll feel like an idiot.
And you'll feel like a doofus is what you'll feel like. No, I mean, I take criticism quite well. What else we got here? I don't think... Twist of Fate. Introducing Twist of Fate. If you haven't seen it, every 500 bits, the party gets a reroll that they can use. It is unique for each campaign. So, some stuff may be happening that this party will need rerolls for, so you may want to...
Did we use our roll from last week?
We did not.
Nope.
Okay, so we still got one in the bank.
One roll for Prime.
One in the bank.
One roll for Prime. And so every 500 bits, they'll get a new one, and we will, they'll be able to use it. Maybe it'll save their lives. Who knows? And then, obviously, I think we have our players. So we're going to go around the room, and we have Nikki playing Sylvie Flickerwicket. You know her as a Gnome Warlock. We have Kelsey playing Aelin Mosgrove. You know her as a Wood Elf Ranger. We have Andy playing Vanish True Strike. You know him as a High Elf Rogue. And then we have producer Rick. You can see the top of his fingers.
His fingers are drooping off there.
He's Rich. He's playing Rodak Stonehearth, a Dwarf Fighter, which you know him as. I am Mikey. I am the Ironing Board DM. I literally DM on an ironing board. I write fan fiction, roll dice, and do silly voices. And I think with that, unless there are any other announcements...
Do it!
We're doing Beneath Dark Wings on Saturday. So tune in on Saturday around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our monthly epic campaign, bruh, where we have our entire Legends of Avantris crew all in one campaign. It's a lot of fun. And we'll go, late-ish. And with that, let's get into what happened last time. You were all on a grand float, a slain black dragon float. Oh, welcome, Thunderstorm. Thank you for the follow.
Thanks,
really
pal.
Appreciate it.
It's good to see you, buddy.
So you were on a black dragon float in Nuit Blanche when the effects of... Oh, thanks for the resub. Wow, no, it's 8 months.
I'm still here for some reason.
Yeah. Why are you here, buddy? Why are you here? We appreciate all your support. We love you, man.
Thank you. Love you.
When bad stuff happened, TBH, Alphonse LeBlanc used the Chalice of Agony to suck the souls out of much of the revelers at the Nuit Blanche festival. And you assume it was Laudna Gilder that used a crazy necromantic power to resurrect all of these corpses as zombies. The city was totally overrun as their float was attacked. There were so many zombies that I'd have hundreds of tokens and we were salt baying them onto the table. That's how intense that there were. They then, however, noticed that there were screams of people who had not been turned that were getting devoured by these horrible zombies. And they realized that a lot of these people didn't have drinks in their hands. And they realized that there may have been something a bit wrong with some of the drinks being passed out, and that may have had a connection to a reason as to why their souls were able to get sucked out with such a horrible ability at such a high range. And then they fought and they fought and they fought and they killed, and they realized that they were not going to be able to fight through this horde of zombies. So they all took to the skies on Sylvie's broom, on Anulin's bee named Bobby, and Vanisher Nubat. And they took to the skies not without offering air support. to the gangs that had been in Agua, had not been at the festival. You saw the leaders of the gangs fighting these zombies. You dropped some fireballs and were incinerating a lot of them, and it looked like there was a real fight against the dead. And you realized that you didn't have time to worry about this. You headed directly for Alphonse's mansion. Huge mansion in the very north side of the city, back in almost into the bayou. And you made your way across the threshold of chalk, and you felt, each of you, like your soul was almost ripped from your body. And it was not until these medallions given to you by Remy Guru lit up that your souls were kept in your person. You crossed the threshold into the foyer of this mansion and encountered a spirit in a mirror after signing your real names with blood into the guest book. And the spirit revealed himself to be Vladimir Drago, the former butler of the LeBlanc family. He revealed that Alphonse had murdered him one night and murdered the rest of the household. And he basically was unable to rest because the household was in disrepair, and Sylvie came up with the idea of mending all of the portraits of the 9 heads of the LeBlanc household, and it worked. He was freed from the mirror, and he led the party to the grand ballroom where Amelia LeBlanc was waiting. And they were encountered with a horrible, grim, endless waltz of corpses. All seemed to be female in various states of decomposition, just dancing, locked in an endless dance, with a harpsichord playing in the far end of the room, beneath the mirror. Sylvie danced with Emilia, and when they were dancing the waltz, they were undisturbed by the zombies. They were allowed to join where they met the spirit of Amelia LeBlanc. And she was unable to really focus because she had been working on her magnum opus, a great waltz, and she was interrupted by the murder, her murder, and
The murder of her.
the murder of her, frankly.
I think I got interrupted.
And then Sylvie managed to find sheet music for what she had been working on, and Amiri managed to finish the song, and it stopped the music. But it then triggered all of the corpses to get combined together in a horrible corpse amalgam that the party then destroyed. And that is where the session ended. So,
Well,
allow me to get to my spot here. So, as the enormous corpse amalgamation of Alphonse's victims lets out one final cacophonous uniform groan and collapses to the ground, the grotesque thin skin covering the creature tears and corpses spill across the ballroom. And you see them begin to rot very quickly. Soon nothing is left but mounds of corpse dust and the loud rattling and shatter as a large mirror behind the harpsichord shatters. And hovering above you is the translucent blue spirit of Amelia LeBlanc. Freed from her prison, you can clearly see a large bloody patch in the middle of her back. Her semi-vacant eyes survey the remains of the girls, and she turns her head to the group of you. This was a tiny fraction of the victims my son claimed. Feeding once a night for hundreds of years has a heavy toll. Although I am among the dead at the hands of my son, I cannot help but feel responsible for everything that's happened. I always had an inkling he would turn down a path this dark, but I repeatedly dismissed it. And perhaps warmth instead of kindness, or warmth instead of coldness, would have taught him love and kindness. It was justice I was unable to finish my waltz before he plunged his knife into my back. As I drew my last breath on this very floor, I did not know what he meant when he told me that he was sorry for his betrayal. but that the silver lining was that he was finally going to get a woman that would love him purely. Just that she did not know it yet. He mentioned that the studies we paid for had done more for him than we could ever know. And that something called the Cloven was the answer to his greatness.
Oh boy.
My last living memory is my son saying he had to go ask his big brother a question as he strode off toward the library. I will take you to my eldest now. He was such a bright and talented boy, a natural at everything he attempted, from hunting to fencing to music to studies. He was truly too brilliant for his own good. And so kind. He had a soft spot for the misunderstood creatures of the world like goblins and kobolds. And what a sense of humor. I know a mother should never pick favorites, but how could I not with my little Edward? Follow me, and you can meet him. Immediately, her spirit loses its form and flies through the door up ahead, disappearing behind it.
The door we came through?
Yep.
All right. I suppose we should. I, Avantris, say that we propose that we follow the spirit.
Aqua.
I am Aqua. What is formerly known as.
Do we... I mean, what was all this? It's all dust. I feel like we're walking right into his trap.
I agree, but there doesn't appear to be any other way forward.
Well, hopefully there's no more of those corpse things, because I felt like the second we disturbed it, it's like it did what Alphonse wanted and formed into something that could potentially kill us.
I'm sure it won't be the last trap that we walk into.
I mean, he knows that his family knows all kinds of stuff about him. I'm sure that it's basically like a booby trap. It's just like a blood-sucking booby trap. Like a Dracula trap. Dracula trap? I don't know.
Trapula?
Trapula?
Dracula.
No, that's not a good one.
I think it's pretty good.
Amiria, how you holding up?
A droopsy. A Dracula oopsie.
She grabs the locket around her neck and she looks into it, and it glows with kind of this silver light. And she breathes in and she closes it and she holds it to her chest and she nods and she looks at you and says, I'm doing fine.
All right.
I'm doing fine. Hopefully this is probably the weirdest thing that we'll see all day, right?
You haven't hung out with us very much.
I'm starting to see why, besides you being an asshole.
I walk over to the door.
We all leave.
So, you all leave the ballroom behind you, and the blasting music of the organ pipes all along this space are echoing through the halls. The music never ceases. You continue downwards, and I believe you're able to turn. You see that there's nothing but rubble up ahead, but you turn and you see another narrow hallway that leads to a ruined dead end, but a staircase that leads upwards.
Is that a...
That's another ruined door.
Okay.
And you make your way up this hallway into a long... There we go. You make your way up the stairs. The cloth coverings are nearly rotted away, and each step that you make lets out a loud creak as just the pipes all alongside you just blast music. And you see the broken, tattered pieces of art that used to line these walls and were probably quite beautiful at some point, but are all just ruined and decaying. Oh, welcome to the Avantris fam.
Darth
Lokuda.
Yeah, we're fighting a Dracula.
Yes, it's Dracula Town. And so,
Dracula.
so as soon as you make your way to the top of these stairs, you see another long, narrow hallway that seems, you probably guessed, on the second floor of the manor. As you look down it, you see a number of doorways with just filled with rubble. However, there's one doorway down to the left that seems to be intact and is glowing with that same faint blue that the doorway to the ballroom had once Vladimir had unlocked it.
What about directly in front of us?
Directly in front of you, you see a door that seems to be intact as well, but it does not seem to be glowing.
Well, if any of the other doors are any indication, we probably shouldn't even mess with this. And I understand your hesitation in wanting to follow exactly where Alphonse wants us to go, but we at least have these spirits on our side helping us after we've freed them or defeated their protectors.
What about that door? And I point down this hallway.
You look down that hallway, and you see another door, seemingly intact. Seems to be very familiar. Seems to be look very similar to the door that you investigated in the foyer.
Do you think that leads to the way out?
Well, I can't know for sure, but if I do a mental check, maybe.
Sure.
What should I roll?
Intelligence.
That's for you're a Viking.
Oh, just intelligence.
Of the
Oh,
king?
that's not good.
Of a king.
That can't be good. My intelligence is a +2. I got a 10.
10. You look down and you feel like you're on the top floor, but you've been walking through these winding hallways. It's difficult to fully triangulate. And I completely forgot, pardon me, in the ruined glass fragments in the ballroom, you found something that wasn't there before. You found an elegant pearl necklace lying amidst the rubble.
Back here.
Yeah.
We were there. Oh shit. You write that down.
Well, anyway, Rodak, I'm not entirely sure, but based on the number of right-hand turns we've made, I have a sort of idea what direction we're facing, and it looks like that would lead back out towards the front. I don't know if it's actually the front entrance or not.
Well, do you suppose we go and open it just to check to see if we need to get out of here? We can go straight through.
It's just all of the other doors have managed to,
Oh, they've been like blowing you apart.
hit back a little bit.
That's right. Oh, you know what? That's fine. I think we've got to go.
Lead the way, my friend.
Oh, all right, man. I'll stomp down the hallway.
Okay.
here.
We're all going.
So
Yeah,
you
he's going
stomp
first.
down the hallway, the fraying wallpaper kind of almost crumpling down and nearly blocking the way to kind of press up on some of the wallpaper in this narrow hallway. And Rodak, as you approach the door, you hear the rustling of paper from just behind, just very faintly beneath the din of the organ. The rustling of paper from beyond the door, and you see the frame is kind of glowing with that ghostly hue.
I'll reach out and open the door.
You reach out. As soon as you grab it, the light fades and it opens and unlocks. As you open the door, you see ahead of you a huge... You can remove those pieces of paper.
All of them?
Yeah. Horrible drawings, but
Oh, wow.
I apologize for my horrible artistic
I'm
ability.
gonna look for it every chance I get.
As you open the door, you see ahead of you a huge library, literally wall to wall, with shelves filled with thousands of books, as well as art, sculptures, artifacts, weapons. A number of plush chairs litter the floor, overturned. The source of the rustling, paper, is immediately apparent, as before you, in the air, dozens of books fly around the room, seemingly flapping like awkward birds. As your eyes scan the room, you don't notice any mirror immediately apparent.
Have you seen this before? It's like a polymorph thing.
Is what a polymorph thing?
You see the books?
What books?
Look in the room.
I look in the room, but I'm just gonna look down towards the ground because I'm only 3 feet tall.
No.
And I'll grab her hand and I'll point it up in the air.
Oh.
You see the
Yep.
books.
I see him. What about him?
If we step foot in here, are they going to attack us instantly?
Well,
They be birds or something?
I
Look
saw a
like
play
this?
once.
Are they birds?
It was by Aldred Mitchcock, and it was about avian creatures that just attacked you. And so yes, I think so.
Well, I mean, they're just books. It'd be like getting hit with a
What if they're
soft
not
rock.
just books?
They're probably not just
Because sometimes just a pig is actually Rodek.
That's also
Yeah,
true.
Right.
or that one guy,
That
the
one
one that we dropped
lizard guy.
out of the sky, and he splatted all over the ground.
Yeah,
Oh,
he-
Gertie,
He too
I'll
wasn't a
miss you
pig.
forever, Gertie.
That's true. That is accurate, I suppose.
That's
Are
just
these
not
tables
fair.
or bookshelves?
Those are bookshelves.
Bookshelves, good. And these are the chairs.
Wow, those look like really dirty tables. But I guess they're bookshelves.
Well, if anything else is like if this room is like any of the others, we need to find the mirror.
I want to look around and see if any books on the shelves look like they are look different or sticking out at
So
all.
you're entering the room.
And I want to inspect the pearls and
Yeah,
see
fuck
if
it, I'll step in.
see if they're magical. If I
Okay,
can-
make an Arcana check, and you make an investigation check if you walk in.
And then a saving
Yep,
throw.
she walks in.
Go away, keyboard.
24 for the Arcana check.
24, it is humming with magic. It is very clearly magical.
17 for investigation.
17. So, Annulin, you're the first one to enter. And as soon as
You can lie by
step
rats, you can lie by
across
books.
the
Make it definite.
threshold, the books pay you no mind and continue to flap around overhead.
Seeing that, I'm going to follow her in.
Okay.
How high up are they? You said?
They're probably like just if you got on your tiptoes, you can reach them.
Okay, cool.
So they're probably like 2-3 feet above your heads.
What a weird turn of events. I just assumed that Aldred Mitchcock, the amazing theater director, would know so much about flying things, but I guess not.
Well, I'm not feeling too great. So if there's no immediate danger, do we look around while we try to rest a little bit?
We're not spending a mechanical hour in this room. Not with those things. I point to the flying birds. Books.
They don't seem to be bothering us. I mean, maybe it'd be okay.
To be quite honest, if you're feeling poorly, you spent the majority of our gold on some potions.
That's
I
true.
want to save that for when we need it.
Okay, well then
Seems like you might
also,
need
yeah, that could be now.
I mean, like when we're in the middle of fighting a
Oh,
gigantic
that's true.
vampire lich.
Okay, well then just feel
I'll be
poorly
fine.
until the...
I'm going to use a potion of greater healing. Not superior. I'm going to use one, because we got one potion of greater
Okay.
from someone, so I'm actually going to use mine.
Okay.
And it's
So
44 plus
you
4.
down it, and Emiria looks up and she points at the book. She says, "Well, this is still less weird than what the last room was, so maybe this is gonna be fine." Annulin, you spend some time as the party's kind of looking around, and you take your time, and you're not in any particular rush as the 100 or so books flapping around aimlessly above you, and something does stand out to you. Takes you a bit to realize this, but it seems like every single spot on every single shelf is filled with a book, except a single empty slot in the shelf on the far wall at about your chest height.
Oh, I see.
Oh my god, this is like that other play that I saw, which was called Mary Porter and the Philanthropist's Rock. And in that, there was something about putting a thing into a thing that was flying in the air.
Alright, now nobody panic, but just to be ready. And I want to slowly start to draw my sword to see if they start to buzz like bees. Slowly.
You draw your
See if there's
sword,
any change.
and you see no change as they just flap above you.
I resheathe my sword and I go, okay, well, it doesn't look like they're immediately aware of any kind of threats.
Well, before you do anything like that again and freak me out, I'm gonna have a potion.
That's really clever, Nose. Even I get that reference, and I'm not a critic, as they
Lipstick
call
for
them.
Dummies by V. Ekna.
Legendary, renowned expert on necromancy, good old V. Ekna.
He's also a famed playwright.
Very true. Very
He
true.
was the writer
Wisdom for dummies.
of
That's great.
Mary Porter and the Philanthropist's Rock.
The Philanthropist's Rock.
Yeah. Oh, I think she's rolling for healing. I thought she was doing
Sorry.
something else.
Yeah, no. So you are
She's healing.
You're looking around and you see that's what Annulin notices.
All right. Well, did you share that with us? The missing book.
No, but I would have walked closer to the missing, the missing nuke.
So you walk up to the slot, and you see that it seems to be about an average-sized, a spot where an average-sized book could fit, similar to many of the others that you've seen. It's not some massive slot or like a tiny little nook. Like this seems to be the only vacant spot in the entire library.
So then I would like to look at the books on either side and see if there is a theme or if there is an alphabetical order that they seem to be in.
You take a look on either side, and there does not seem to be any kind of rhyme or reason to any of the books that are along.
Does anyone know the Dewey Decimal System? Because that might explain why she doesn't know what the book's supposed to be.
I would say no.
Haha, sucks to suck. Does Vanders know the Dewey Decimal System? Damn
I
it.
know the alphabet. Is that the Dewey Decimal? I literally don't know the Dewey Decimal System.
The point is, no one knows the Dewey Decimal System. I'm sorry if there's any librarians watching. And
Yeah,
I'm
let's get like a
defending your craft.
master's in like librarianism, right?
The Dewey
Library
Decimal
science.
System is antiquated and old. Just kidding. I don't mean to offend any librarians out there. All right. So have you shared anything with us? I'm looking for a mirror.
I'm climbing a bookshelf.
And you're gonna go sit on a book. I'm gonna go look for a.
You look around. You don't see a mirror. Sylvie, you're climbing or make an investigation check.
Thank you.
But you still won't find him.
Yeah, you're right. Continue to explain, though.
You are climbing up on top of the bookshelf, and then you get to a point where these books are flying around basically at your head level. And can you roll a D100 for me?
Oh God, 27.
27. You look around and you find a slot, an empty slot, exactly how anyone found it.
Oh, hey guys, look at this. There's what is she doing? There's an empty slot here. It looks like all of the other.
Yeah,
The one
51.
that Annulin's staring right at?
Yeah,
one?
but she just decided not to mention anything, so I'm glad I found it.
Well, thank you for telling me, Avantris. Now we can all look at it together.
Sylvie, what are you doing?
Oh, I realized that when we walked in, I couldn't see the books because I was looking in front of me, and so then I was like, oh, well, Annulin's sniffing dust again, and Vandris is wandering around looking for a mirror that doesn't exist, and Rodek smells funny, so I figured that I would just climb on a bookshelf because we're all just doing Sylvie things.
Well, I also found an empty book slot here. I'm waiting to see what the roll is.
So,
What did you get?
Oh, I got it. You said I found a.
You found a slot.
Yeah, that was it.
And
I'm
so,
sharing.
and then Sylvie, as you're kind of climbing, one of the book flaps in front of you, and you see along the spine it says "The Ravings of Garvis, 3rd edition."
oh my god, I love that book!
And I'm gonna try and grab it.
Okay, make an acrobatics check for me, please.
The Ravings of Garvis.
Acrobatics?
Yep.
1 hot 13.
Hot 13. You manage to reach out, and you kind of barely grab it as you pull it out of midair. And as soon as you grab it, it seems to just snap shut, stop flying, and seems to allow you to turn into a regular book.
Oh, no, this wasn't the one I thought. I thought it was The Cravings of Marvis, the 3rd volume.
Oh well, and I just throw it down to Vandris. Or just throw it to the ground.
You throw it to the ground, and as soon as it leaves your hand, it catches itself, flaps around, and then starts to fly back in the air.
And I'm just gonna sit on the top of this bookshelf and kick my feet.
So can I take a look at what books are on each other side of the empty missing slot?
Yes, could you please roll 2 D100s, please?
Yeah. Is that just these these percentile ones?
Yeah.
Is that how this works?
Yep.
No, wait. Should I do it like...
You need that. You need one of these and one of those. Yep.
I've never done this before.
You can do it
Don't
with
make fun of
just
me.
tens.
I got a 63.
Okay.
Right?
And
Yep.
Oh. And a 94.
63 is the history of the First Era, and then 94 is incredible creatures and how to kill them.
Ooh, I try to take incredible creatures and how to kill them off the shelf.
As you reach and you try to grab it, does not budge.
Son of a gun, this one actually looks like it's got some good information in it.
I didn't even know you could read.
Oh, do they all look to
What the hell is that supposed to be? I know multiple languages.
Do you really?
Yes.
Ooh, which ones?
What? Like I'm gonna tell you guys now.
That sounds like someone who's intimidated at the fact that Annulin knows more languages than them. Because she's told me which one she knows, and it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I start to walk towards the back of the room and say, "Not falling for it this time."
I want to try to grab another one. Just randomly to see if they're
Roll
all...
a D100.
Oh.
We're gonna be here a while, ladies and gentlemen.
No one's told Sylvie what
80.
you're looking for.
8. Sorry, 8.
8. An 8 will get you. Allow me to consult. Are you being invaded? Question mark. You manage to grab it. You just kind of jump up a little bit, and you grab it, and you look at it, and it's "Are you being invaded?"
And I grabbed it from the air?
Yeah, you grab it from the air.
I like leaf through to see if it's like an actual book.
It seems to be a real book. I would say if you're just taking your time flipping through it, you're easily able to deduce it's a guidebook on how to protect oneself from ogres, goblins, kobolds, and woodland critters.
Please tell me that you're going to add Darth Lacura's A Sarax Lichdom pop-up book for kids.
Even better, because we gotta have something for the little
next
ones.
haunted library. Let's do it, guys.
I'm seeing that they're just all kind of fucking around. I'm going to get on my broom, and I want to just kind of like fly through the books and then find one that looks like kind of flashy, try to grab it, and then I just want to hang upside down from my broom like I'm reading it and just like,
Amelia, look, I'm you. I can do fun spinny things too.
So you manage to fly around, roll a D100, and see which the flashy one that you find.
I guess this doesn't help me because I wouldn't know whether it's
you need to
Sorry.
do one of each.
Yeah, you're right. 12.
12. You find a pretty big, fat, flashy-looking one, and you realize that it's Friar Albert's Guide to Surviving Traps.
Oh, yay! This is one of my favorite books.
And I'm gonna upside down try to read it.
And Emiria looks up at you and says, "That's really impressive. I mean, I couldn't do that. I don't have a broom.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's really impressive.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's really good, Sylvie. Okay, smart guys.
So there's one slot. I'm just
And then I'm
gonna
gonna let the book go.
I just try to put the book that I'm holding. Wait, what was it?
Am I being invaded?
I just put it into this.
So you grab the book and you place it in, and as soon as it goes in, it shoots back out at you. I need you to make a dexterity save.
Let's get it in the face and break your nose.
Hey, 22.
Oh, he's
22.
quick. He's
You
too
manage to
quick.
dodge out of the way as the book shoots out and then catches itself in midair and starts to flop back with the group.
All right. It looks like there are a lot of books, and there's only one slot, and there's no way we can sit here and catch each individual book and try each individual one, because by then he'll be a turbo mega lich and will be absolutely bent over sideways.
Well, why don't you get started? I'm going to go sit in one of those beanbag chairs over there.
What the hell? Ah, jeez. And I start climbing up the bookshelf to get up on the top like Sylvia's.
Okay, so you climb. I'll make an acrobatics check for me just in case.
Wait,
That's on automatic 10, right?
What did you say, Avantris? Are you coming
19.
to hang out with
19,
me?
yeah. You just easily manage to climb to the top of one of the middle bookshelves, and you join Sylvie as she's kind of just reading the book, Friar Albert's Guide to Traps.
Is there any way that I can, like, scan the... I mean, it's, like, not even... Is there anything I notice about the books as I, like, investigate them while they're flying around?
Make an investigation check.
That's going to be a 20.
A 20. You look around, they seem to all be of very slight varying widths. but they all seem to be the same kind of narrow style. Some of them seem to be flashier than others, but there's really no book that stands out like in particular. All the names of the books seem to be different.
But the books themselves are all just,
it's not like
There's not one golden.
There's not one
niche
golden.
book
Yeah,
or whatever.
no, there's not a
Right, I
One
figured.
flying slightly slower with like a broken.
Oh,
spine.
right. Because Malfoy had to fuck or something.
I would be remiss if I didn't.
Can you
at least
please
check.
read the books?
I did read it. I just forgot.
Okay, well then that's worse.
So I want to scan the titles and see if any of them have the name Edward in them. Or Mommy's
Yeah,
favorite.
good luck.
Make a perception check. A disadvantage.
Natty one.
It's not pretty good.
yeah, her perception's pretty high.
Turbo turd today.
Because he didn't get his monster.
Yeah, you made me sit at FedEx for 45 minutes.
Honey, believe me, I did not want to be inside.
I saw you. You looked like you were having fun.
I bet she laughed. I bet she laughed in there.
FedEx is where I go to have fun.
Hey, thanks for the cheers.
Thank you for the cheers, and hi, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Oh, did you change your name on Twitch?
Twitch,
Or
yes.
did you make a new
Kyle.
account? Can you change your name, or do you have to like?
I had to make an
Okay.
So,
14.
14. You look around and you cannot find a single book that mentions the
right.
word on the spine.
I need
Balls.
to come up with like a trick here. Well, I'm gonna look into my bag of tricks.
Is there anyone that looks like more plain than all the rest, like an Indiana Jones? Like
Make an investigation check.
He was a carpenter.
Or perception check, it is advantage.
Sean Connery in the corner
Yeah.
anywhere? Like what?
Perception check,
Perception?
it is advantage.
Scooby-Doo monster. 9.
9, you look around, they all kind of seem to be, there's not one that really stands out aesthetically from the others. They, some might be a little bit flashier, some might be a little bit more plain.
What are you guys doing?
We're trying to figure out what book is supposed to be in this hole.
Oh, well, why didn't you say that before? I can fly around and read all of their covers.
Well, they're moving. I'm still going to take a very long time. I'm trying to figure out if there's any way to cut the time on this
Does anyone
down.
have like a really big net?
I don't think so.
I don't have a net at all.
No, but I have a very
I've never been
large...
fishing.
I have a very large nut, and I go into my bag and I pull out an average-sized acorn to a human, but to me it's gigantic.
I'm not going to tell her. Let's just let her have
You
this.
should put it back.
Let her have this, guys. Let her have this. Wow, that's silly. That's big.
I know.
That's a very large VLN.
Yeah,
Very large nut.
I collected it. I have 2 more, but they're slightly smaller.
And Namiria kind of walks up to it and she scratches her head and kind of runs a finger along one of her horns. And she says, like, so do you think that it's this Edward guy, that this is his, it'd be like a book for him, right?
Probably.
Oh, it's only one book?
Well, we need to choose the right one.
Okay.
And he was into
I want to fly around and
hunting.
look and see if I can find any books that
Fencing?
stand out to me.
Fencing.
While they're like yelling words up at me.
So what word are you looking for?
We yelled hunting and fencing.
Fencing.
Yeah.
Were 2 of the words
So I
that
just
we
want to
yelled.
kind of like zoom through all these books and see if any of the titles like
Edward's diary.
yell out at me to make me think, oh, that could be the
Or
one.
Edward.
We're Edward.
And I'm Sylvie, so that could be really anyone.
My
I
brother murdered
think
me.
a
A
lot
memoir.
of these. Why don't you just give me 3, and I'll just tell you the ones that stand out to you.
100,
100. Okay.
11, and 85.
Okay. A day in the life of a lemure. That stands out to you.
A lemure or a lemur?
Lemure.
Well, that's supposed to be my joke, so can you just hold on?
You find the Golden Fleece. Golden Fleece is one of the books that stands out to you. And then 11 is Temina's Guide to Kobolds, Volume 1 through 6.
Something about kobolds, no. Ooh, fleece, God, that fabric's terrible. Ooh, look, lemurs!
And I'm gonna go try and shove it into the slot.
That's
You
not fencing.
Shove it into the slot, and you make a dexterity saving throw. It shoots back out at you.
17.
17. You manage to duck out of the way. It's not hard for you to duck
Well-
as it shoots back out and flies into the air.
I don't think that he likes mammalian things. Lemurs are mammalian, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
What's a lemur?
Huh? It's a strange furry lizard.
And then I'm going to fly back up into the air.
You fly back up.
It's a skinny raccoon.
I don't know, guys.
There wasn't anything magnificent or standing out about the slot that we looked at.
Nope. She's in the normal book slot.
There's got to be some kind of a. What about the stools and the benches and all that, and this thing in the corner?
Where I'm sitting.
What's that little box thing? I want to go look at that.
You look at that, and that is a cart for books, and it seems to also be kind of just totally filled with just a collection of random books.
Damn. Well, I'm running out of ideas here, ladies and gentlemen. I suppose we just start grabbing books.
I'll walk up to the cart and see, I'll take a few books off and see what their names are.
You go to the cart and you try to grab them, and it's stuck on this cart.
I'm gonna start just jumping up.
Yeah, I'm still on top. I guess I'll get back on the thing and start
I'm
going.
gonna grab a couple more out of the
I'll
air.
stand on him.
Okay, each of you give me a D100, please.
How do you do that?
I got a
So
2.
it's
A 2.
these
You
two.
find
So they're
elemental
both- They're
research.
your 2D.
Ooh!
How
A
do I
book
know
studying
which one?
elementals and their history.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to that
Two.
one.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my way down
Alright.
off the thing.
74.
74.
400.
Story from the Orc Holes.
It's shite. I threw
40.
40. Sylvie. You find the social practices of various
That's a
avian
6.
humanoids.
What?
I found something about elements.
Who cares? I found Aldred Mitchcock's first novel.
I'm going to try the elementals in the slot.
You grab the elemental and you stick it in the 30 saving throw as it shoots back out at you.
I got 92 and 6.
92. And this, let's do 92.
Oh, it's going to be plus
Is that a 6 or a 9? Oh,
Dexterity?
she got a
No.
9.
92
Plus
and a
8 then.
9.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
92 is landmarks to
Okay.
visit before you die.
24.
24, you manage to easily dodge out of the way.
I got a 64.
And then 64.
22.
You find Tome Prime. And then the other book that you have is a 9.
Tome Prime?
Tome Prime, An Ogre's Guide to Tying Knots.
22.
22, you're just grabbing books?
Yeah.
Okay. 22,
Yeah, I don't like either of
Stranger in My Dreams.
46.
Ooh.
That's actually, that could.
Can I leaf through the book?
You want to take time to leaf through it.
I do. A stranger in my dreams.
What number was that?
46.
Stranger in My Dreams. This book talks about the author recalling a depraved creature who over time got closer and closer to her in her dreams. The book seems to be a diary that was never finished.
Oh, shit.
Try it.
Oh, I'm definitely putting it into the slot.
Okay. You put it in and it shoots back out at you and you dodge out of the way.
23.
Yeah, you dodge
I
out.
want to leaf through the Tome Prime.
Can you remember what number that was?
64.
The story of
I-
5 adventurers and
I had a 46,
adventures.
by the way.
It's a thick book of hundreds of pages of an unintelligible language to all but the author. Seems to be a novel of some sort. What do you get?
46.
46. You got a...
Wait.
Red goes faster. Red goes faster.
Don't let go of that book.
I don't think that's true. Purple's way faster than red.
Do you have the ability to read any kind of text?
Yes, I believe so. Why?
66 and 6. I'm doing 2 at a time for
Okay.
double hint.
So we'll do 6 first. We've all made mistakes. And then 66,
Rodick, what do you got there?
It's a book.
The Herbalist's Guide to Surviving.
Have I ever seen this language in this book? That he's
No,
holding?
it's like basically chicken scratch.
Can I read through We All Make Mistakes?
Yeah, that's...
Like everybody
that was-
poops.
I'm going to try again.
An Intro to Necromancy for Raising Your Dead Wife.
Ooh.
Yeah, I put that in the slot.
Okay.
Who got it? You did.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
So you grab it and you place it in and it shoots back out at you. Dex saving throw, please.
42.
42.
Life, universe, and everything.
Good.
42. 12. You get smacked in the face, taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you in the face. You got 42. Not but the wind's caress.
Oh, I'm definitely... Guys, I'm going to need a minute. And I sit down on one of the beanbags and I start leaping through it.
It's a collection of torrid love stories between a high elf and their human lover.
I just keep reading the whole... I'm like, I'm going to be here a while, guys. You guys keep going on.
We're resting anyway, I suppose.
Make an investigation check
Me?
to see how quickly you read through the book.
Natural 20. I got a 30.
You speed read that. It is lewd and it is torrid.
And I'm tearing and I'm laughing and I'm
You see Emiria, she just has one of the books and she just like reading through
I'm
it.
gonna read another one. 85.
85. Okay. You are going to pull out a book that you already had this as Golden Fleece.
I want to put in the tome Prime or whatever.
Okay. You stick
You
stick it in and it flies back out at you and you get a dex saving throw, please.
Okay. No one got 69 yet, Mew. Sorry, I'll try
I got
again.
35.
Yeah, I'll try too.
12.
You fail. So you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. It smacks you.
Does my armor reduce
23.
that?
No. What?
23.
23.
And 15.
So 15, we'll start with 15. Friar Albert's Guide to the History of Karkinos is 15.
I'm gonna put that in the slot.
So that was Vanders's.
No, that was
Sylvie.
So,
I got
so you're
23.
going to stick it in, and it shoots back out at you. Dex saving throw.
16.
16, you managed to dodge out of it.
23.
23, okay.
For books.
Influence of the Ocean.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay, you stick it in, dex saving throw. It shoots back out at you.
I got 35.
27. I'm good.
27. 35.
I got it out of the way.
Rich, fix the.
How to talk to Knowles without getting torn to shreds.
See, like
Very carefully.
I could spend the entire session
Yeah, we're gonna
just
keep going.
reading books.
I know.
Book names to make you
Can I
do
actually
work.
like put that one in my like side pouch?
And you leaf through it. I'm just going to say you
Okay.
leaf through it.
These are amazing.
Read it.
This book is based off the news of an ambitious goblin who is evidently torn to shreds.
I'm gonna read the back cover and then be like, nah.
57.
You chuck it up in the air.
And 13.
57. Well, because I'm already up here. 57. The Tale of Crimshaw the Sweet.
I'm leaving through it.
Okay, you leaf through it. It's a legendary tale of an infamous tiefling baker who killed dozens of orcs by baking them poisonous cookies. What was that?
13.
13.
Everybody knows orcs love cookies.
Friar Albert's Guide to Forest Trails.
Who would ever want to know about forest trails? I'm going to glance at Annulin for a second. Idiots, and then just.
I got an 85.
Chuck it in the air. 85, you pull out, I think it's Golden Fleece again.
It is.
It has to be Golden Fleece.
Yes.
29.
29.
And 16.
Okay, 29 and 16.
We're gonna roll till we get 69.
13.
Yeah.
29, Fireside Sing-Alongs. A simple songbook for bored travelers with optional sheet music for instrumental accompaniment.
85
What's it?
again.
Was it?
16.
16.
And 75.
Oh,
16. Friar Albert's Guide to Herbs and Plants. And then 75.
Yeah.
and I've got a 90.
The Knight's Embrace.
Gotten that.
How's it spelled?
Just Night.
I'd like to leaf through that.
It's a book about the primordial titans, mostly legends and myth, collected by an eccentric young wizard who traveled the plains looking for information about them. This book is highly frustrating to scholars because the last entry is the beginning of a summary of an actual historical document, which has never been found. The book is unfinished and the wizard has not been seen for hundreds of years.
I am going to put that in my bag.
90.
90. Okay. 90 is How to Spot a Mimic.
Oh, gotta leaf through that one.
It's tips
notes.
such as listening for breathing to see if, and seeing if it responds to being touched.
Thanks, Derek.
69.
Just from you.
69. Our Friend the Cactus.
Oh,
71.
I've never had a cactus before once, but I had a succulent.
And so I want to leaf through it.
It's written by a dwarf wizard by the name of Davrin Wraithmail. This treatise explains the growth and upkeep of a moonlighter tree, as well as several manners to corrupt seeds of other trees in order to create a suitable vessel. An entire chapter is dedicated to the domestication of the resulting blights, which sprout from said tree, from there, and then training to better protect the new sapling. And then 71. There, and back again. A halfling's guide to grammar.
I got a 30.
That was amazing.
Thank you, Derek. And of course, it's Derek. Thank you, Derek. 30.
And back again.
Income management and financial assessment.
I go and put it in the slot.
Make a dex saving throw as it flies back
pass.
out at you.
I got 23.
Okay.
As I'm sitting on the chair resting, I just want to like see if I can read a few that might be relevant.
Picturing
I'm
you
not gonna
being like,
grab 'em.
Is there anything that you're looking for specifically?
I'm looking for anything related to anything that's sort of like a Renaissance man thing, either like nobility and like being part of a family.
Here's one we haven't gotten, I don't think.
Keep rolling the same things.
you know.
87.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I need investigation from Rodak. Oh no, perception.
24.
24, you look around and you can kind of see a lot of these books don't really seem to have a lot to do with that kind of stuff. Nothing related to the nobility or like how to fence or anything, or how to hunt. And so
87.
87.
I'm trying to like remember numbers we haven't
20's
gotten
on
yet.
the deck.
So, yeah, I got 22, so I'll reroll.
87, 20, 25. Okay. 101 ways to cook and ooze.
Ew.
Interesting recipes including gelatinous cube cocktail, ochre apple jelly, and salted pudding. 20 and 23.
No, you got 20, right?
I got 20.
I also had 20.
Oh.
Okay.
So I re-rolled.
A monster's guide to secret layers. Everything a monster needs to know about making a perfect home. And what do you get?
82.
82. A story about the letter X. This pretty orange book was written by Mark Despot. Honestly, not sure who could... Wait. Honestly, not sure who could be. The book talks about the. Okay, this is probably this. The book talks about the best ways of hiding gold and making sure that there's a map that leads to it.
51.
51. 51. Necromancy for imbeciles.
I'm taking that one.
Introductory guide to the basics of necromancy.
I already get 90.
Did we get that one? 51? We haven't gotten an imbecile. I'm trying it.
Okay. You stick it in and it flies back out at
Jesus.
you. Make a dex saving.
18.
18. You managed to dodge it.
What did you have?
We've gotten
67.
multiple necromancy books.
I got
67.
97.
Arcane Secrets is 67. A generous manuscript contains a description of inner workings of various contraptions and automatons, and an instruction manual to programming automatons, allowing any intermediate transmuter to create their very own contraptions. What do you get?
97.
97.
Oh my god. But
Oh, you did already?
We'll hear it.
So long, and thanks for all the ale. The story of Tarvish the dwarf, who had unpaid bar tabs worth totaling 10,000 gold across all the entire country before being arrested.
I don't think this randomly looking for books thing is going to get us anywhere.
I agree. But other than that, I haven't been able to come up with any other ideas.
Oh, what if we need to move one of the bookshelves? Like, Rodak, why don't you push it with your strong strength and see if there's something hidden under it?
Yeah, I don't mean to be rude, but you're kind of just sitting on your
Well,
ass.
I think the four of you to combine might be strong enough.
The four of us, Amiria's been reading the same book for like 30 minutes.
To be fair, some of these have been pretty good.
How long have they been flailing after books?
I would say you're approaching an hour.
So with all this walking, am I like approaching a short
I would
rest?
say you're approaching short rest, yeah, certainly.
Just give me like a few more minutes.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna keep trying.
being frustrated, I'm gonna come over here and like lean up against the
49.
bookshelf
Okay.
pretty hard.
You lean up and you look very frustrated leaning. 49. Let's see where this bad boy is. 49.
Wait, I have to, like,
A
talk.
treatise on the non-existence of this treatise.
I try it.
You stick it in and it just flaps back out at you.
Wow, that's the first terrible roll I've
It
had.
is
15.
a book. 15?
Yeah.
And you're still able to dodge it.
Okay.
That was a book that attempts to convince the reader that the book does not exist, and that it is in fact a figment of the reader's imagination.
Does it work?
Despite being written in a very academic and generally formal tone, the arguments within are mostly circular and otherwise fallacious.
I'd like to read it. Does it work? Am I convinced that the book doesn't exist?
Let's see. I'm gonna roll.
Vanders get completely
No,
mind-fucked.
it's not. It's not.
I get like so much psychic damage, my head caves in and I die.
I got 11.
Well, I'm gonna go make coffee.
An 11. Temina's Guide to Kobolds, Volume 1 through 6.
Alright, I'm just gonna get really mad and shove the bookshelf in front of me.
99.
You shove the bookshelf, and it just does not move at all as you just shove it really frustratingly. 99. Taming the Beast.
Do I need to go downstairs and get a mug?
A perfect book for beginner beastmasters. Gives tips and tricks on how to win over the wild creatures of all kinds. It starts with tiny creatures like frogs and crabs, followed by small creatures like eagles and fire beetles, medium creatures like giant badgers and giant frogs, large creatures. Oh, thanks for the sub!
Thank you.
Large creatures like owlbears and bullets, and finishes with huge creatures like elephants and some dinosaurs.
I want that.
You have some hooters now. Feel free to flash them.
Sylvie, can I have that book?
You want this book?
You're gonna throw it, aren't you?
Well, that depends. What are you gonna give me for it?
I'll give you this book, and I'll pull the one out that I had in my bag.
What is it called?
Golden Fleece or whatever, or no?
No, it's shit. What did I have in there? It's something I thought Orpheus would want.
Whichever book you have in there.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You can have it.
Yeah. All right, and I'll put both back in my bag.
Okay. You stick them in your bag.
But you owe me something
do.
that's better than that dumb book.
I'll say that you guys are probably approaching an hour, and you probably have enjoyed a short rest.
Great. I will.
I'm gonna do some
do
hit
that.
dice.
Yeah, so everyone enjoys a short rest.
I'll hit dice.
As Emiria takes the book and just throws it up in the air, it starts flapping again. And she, is tapping her foot on the ground and tilting her head to the side, and she's saying, what? Was there anything that Edward guy was into?
Well, that's the thing. His mother said he was into fencing and hunting, and what else was he into?
What is what you're into?
Can you remind us what else was mentioned by the mother?
I can read you the final description.
Okay.
Oh, and during that short rest, since I've spent time with the necklace, would I figured out what it is?
Yes. That is Emilia's last waltz, and it is a necklace, and it is a reflavored mantle spell resist. A renamed mantle spell resistance.
Okay.
Mantle spell resist.
So, I'll just read it again. I'll take you to my eldest now. He was always such a bright and talented boy. A natural at everything he attempted, from hunting to fencing to music to his studies. He was truly too brilliant for his own good, and so kind. He had a soft spot for misunderstood creatures like goblins and kobolds. And what a sense of humor. I know a mother should never pick favorites, but how could I not with my little Edward? Follow me, and you can meet him.
So the book that I have
That we picked up like a million times.
is the one that I kept is the orcs one.
Yep.
How to defend myself.
Yeah.
Did I try to put that in already? No, I just tried to put the atonement.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna put.
You place it in, and it shoots back out at you, and you have to dodge out of the way. Dex saving throw.
So I'm gonna start looking for kobold books.
Make a perception check.
I'll look for goblin books.
What about that goblin book where it was like how not to get killed by the thing
15.
and then the goblin got killed by the thing?
15. I'll say that you take your time and you look around, and as you're finding kobold books, you actually find two. You find, allow me to
Hey, Falcon Wolf.
We're reading a lot of books.
You find a book titled Kobold Jokes. And you find
He had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
She said he had a sense of humor.
and Temina's Guide to Kobolds.
I'm
Volume
gonna
1.
take the joke book and put that in the slot.
Okay. So,
That was the one.
I hope so, because that book hurt really bad when it hit me in the
Well,
face
the
last
DM
time.
didn't tell you to roll, and he picked up his iPad. I mean, the god of the world.
as the God of the World does this, as soon as you place the book in, it slides into its slot.
What was the
I'm
name of the
like
book?
ducking though. Like
It was
waiting.
Kobold Jokes.
Oh.
And it is and I may as well read about it.
Yes, please.
It is, I think it was 40... a joke book written in Draconic and that are terrible even by kobold standards. Okay. So the book slides into its slot, and you hear a loud click and hum as the book glows blue, and it pops back out, and with a loud creak, the shelf slides back and then over, slowly disappearing into the wall. The book lands in your hands as you see behind the secret door a small sitting room, besides a much more modest collection of bookshelves than what you've seen in the larger library. There's more decorations, more art, more sculptures, more weapons, including the prominent feature, a large, ancient-looking stone bust of an incredibly beautiful woman to punctuate this space. And hanging prominently above the armchair is another tall mirror that alights with a ghastly blue hue.
And is there any vision in the mirror?
Are you going to step inside?
I can't see it from where I'm standing.
It's kind of catty
Okay. I don't know why this was my first thought. Does it smell weird in the room?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 19.
So you smell, it just smells kind of the same musty, dusty old scent that is most of the library has. Seems to be a bit more mothball-y in this closed-off room. And you see up ahead of you, besides this chair, it seems to be a few blood stains on the floor and on the chair.
Okay. Guys, nothing's tried to kill us in like well over an hour. I'm nervous. I don't know if I want to go in here.
We have no choice.
Well, where is it?
It's just
somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah.
There's a secret passage.
Yeah, there's a secret
We'll say it's here.
I don't think I agree with Rodak. We have no choice. I'll happily lead the way.
Okay.
Go on, you're never scared, right?
That is correct, and I step forward.
Okay. Emiria points at you and says, "You can read that?" As she looks down at the kobold joke book.
I'll toss it to her.
She grabs it and she starts thumbing through it. It's like, good thing I can read your comic. And so she's flipping through as you all enter. And as you enter, you see the mirror fully now, and a shape materializes from within. As my iPad totally fucks up. It's a young man with long hair pulled back into a ponytail. Doesn't look much older than his 20s. He's wearing a simple casual jacket and a pair of spectacles on his nose. You clearly recognize this person as the Edward from the portrait in the foyer. On the side of his neck, you can see a garish knife wound that's oozing blood. As he watches you enter, his gaze looks distant and longing as he begins to speak. I'm Edward LeBlanc, the oldest son of Philip LeBlanc, an heir to my house. Or at least I was. As the oldest child of a wealthy, noble family, a lot was expected of me. Mother and father were demanding of me, but luckily everything they expected wasn't very difficult. I never really cared for father's crossbow or mother's harpsichord, or even the alchemy they sent me to school to learn, even if I was great at all of it. I suppose I did quite like fencing. It felt like a more civilized sport than hunting down and butchering animals for fun. But all I ever really wanted to do was read stories. Nothing ever beat spending hours in this very library with a good book, being transported across Avantris to learn about the amazing deeds of heroes from every age. I was in the middle of the climax of an amazing story when my little brother interrupted me. It was about the famed Stygian hero, Simonius the Hallowed. The night Alphonse came home from school, I was at the part where Simonius was facing off against an incredibly powerful Medusa that was turning an entire village to stone. But I never found out how the story ended. I just wish I could finish that last story. As Edward's voice trails off, you hear the grinding of stone. And immediately you notice the marble busts of the beautiful woman start to turn her head and look at all of you. As her perfectly sculpted hair start to shift and morph into wriggling, fanged serpents. And her eyes grow wide and wild and flash with ethereal light as white lips part, revealing a maw of razor-sharp teeth. You hear a loud crack and crumble as the bust snaps and lifts off its pedestal, and floating in the air towards you is this statue of a Medusa head. I need everyone to roll for initiative.
It's a Gorgon!
Shit.
Oh.
I got a 1.
Oh.
15 for me.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I guess we should do the old.
Mikey method.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. So what am I looking
Okay,
We're looking at it. Well, let's get all of our
2025?
characters
Floating
over
marble
here.
Medusa head.
Can you give me everybody's
Easy
keys?
peasy.
I would say the room is so small that, here. You can just place it on the squares behind that space. Okay, so,
Turn it towards her.
20 to 25.
24.
24.
Nice.
Need a Miria here too.
Okay. 15 and 20.
15.
15 for Vandris. Lumi, or rather, Sylvie and Rhoda, what'd you get?
4.
5.
4 and 5. Rhoda?
You beat me.
5. Let me get my Medusa head here. Dex. Wow. And let me roll for Amiria. That is Amiria's after Vandris. Okay, so this head looks towards you, and as you're all standing there, its eyes flash with blue as you also feel a petrification magic blast over you. I need everyone to make a con saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Con, you say?
16.
16. And you shrug off the magic.
7.
21.
21. Okay. 21. Rhoda.
11.
11. Vanders, as you look at this thing, your eyes go wide and you see, all of you, see Vanders immediately turn to stone and he's petrified.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
Okay.
How am I feeling? Am I petrified?
What would you get?
11.
11. You feel the petrification magic blast you, and you start to see Rodek's skin turning to stone slowly as you are slowing down, and you're gonna get one more saving throw.
Like right this second?
Right this second. So no, not right now.
On his turn, like.
Yep. At the end of your turn. You
Well-
are restrained, though. You are unable. You are restrained.
Fuck are people calling? Blow my phone up.
And Emiria seems to be unaffected as well.
Get out of here.
Hold on, so Rodek is just slow, not stone.
Well,
Not
He's
yet.
restrained. He's restrained.
I'm
right
turning into stone now.
I see. Okay.
now. Okay.
My turn?
Daniel, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Avengers and be like, oh fuck! And then I'm gonna fire 2 arrows at the statue.
That cat.
And as that happens, Emiria, as soon as it happens, she's going to look at all of you and says, "Don't look at it!" And she's going to cover her eyes. Are you going to be looking at it when you fire your arrows?
I only wish I had blind sense.
No, because I'm looking at Vandris.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
be
would
like
say-
a reactionary,
Okay,
like
so just make each one a
disadvantage.
disadvantage because you're not looking at it.
That's pretty good. 20 to hit. And 12 to hit.
Roll damage, please.
For both?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Sorry, hold on. 8.
8.
What happened
No,
to the
sorry,
altars
sorry, I
that
was-
got turned to stone?
Going out to die.
Probably, yeah, we probably just die. I mean, I'm assuming there's some sort of, like, we have chances to get out of it while we're getting munched alive by this, like, floating head, but...
20. I'm sorry, hold on. 26. No,
26.
I can't.
So as you, even though you are turning away, you fire.
It's high enough.
You fire both arrows, and both just fly at it, and they both find purchase on this floating head, and they seem to just completely shatter, having no effect.
The arrows do?
The arrows
Fuck is
seem to
that?
have no effect.
No, we're deep shit.
Okay.
Okay. Avantris, you're up. You are.
I'd be like, did I get it?
So what is the petrification?
Great fucking question.
Who's incapacitated, can't move or speak, unaware of its surroundings. You're resistant to all damage, and you're immune to poison.
So Avantris, you are just completely incapacitated. You are just completely turned
You're
to
just
stone.
made of
And I can't take damage.
You're resistant to damage. Yeah.
Resistant to damage.
Yes.
I don't get an opportunity to.
Nope. You are turned to stone.
This is fucking bad.
As you're turned to stone, and Emiria is going to not look and then try to slash at it.
Medusas are rough.
Both are going to hit, and both her swords are gonna clang, and do no damage, and she's gonna
Thank
turn.
you,
Thank you for the raid!
We're fighting a
Conductors, we love you,
Medusa.
I'm made of stone.
Vanna's got petrified. And
Immediately.
As she's attacking, she's like, this isn't working, and she's gonna keep averting her eyes. Sylvia, you're up.
Would I know whether Lesser Restoration would do anything for Avantris?
I don't know if it would do anything. How does that work for Medusas?
I have no idea.
Hold on, let me see.
Cures paralyzed,
It-
but
Hold on,
I don't know.
let me
Thanks,
see.
everybody.
Thanks.
Just a quick summary. We're going through a spooky, haunted mansion owned by a vampire that's trying to become a lich, who's like the main bad guy of our third arc. This is our 50th
who
episode.
knows?
Yeah, my boy.
I'd take you anywhere nice.
I would say that you would probably know that that you haven't. It's probably a little too powerful for you to be able to use.
Dusty.
love
So
Dusty
I'm
too.
gonna close my eyes and I'm just gonna fire all 3 of my glitter lances at it.
Okay, you fire all 3 of your glitter lances. Let's see where they hit.
Are
15
they
over here.
at disadvantage?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
So
I
then-
rolled 3 at once, so I should do it again. Or actually,
no,
I'll just
two
roll
of those-
3 again.
Well, but do you remember what they are?
You would have hit.
Yeah, well, one
it-
of them was a natural 20.
Even if you had rolled 3 and taken the
Oh,
lowest,
thanks for the follow.
Even for the follow.
Maybe
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
for the Azure Sky.
So I would say that first one hits and just roll 2 more sets.
Exactly.
That's
I
what I
have
would do.
3.
Right. So
Yeah,
the first
so-
one hits. So
first
roll
one
2
hits.
more sets.
So that would be 9 plus 11, so 20.
Yep, and then 1 more.
And then 27.
27. All 3, even though Sylvie's not looking at it, all 3 arcs of the glitter lance blast into this head that's just floating there looking at all of you. And not even the sound of marble crumbling or breaking, it seems to have no effect and do no damage as it blasts. And Rodak, you're up.
I will like to avert my gaze. And I'm restrained. Can I still try to like swing at it? Would it be in range?
Oh yeah,
Like
it's like
as-
right next to you, yeah.
You can hear too. I mean, based on what's been going on.
So the spells didn't do anything.
Spells
I guess I
not-
heard that.
And you heard that Annulin didn't do anything and Emiria didn't do anything.
I want to look around to see, like, while I'm turning, I want to look at the pedestal to see if there's any kind of magic or something.
Make a perception check, please.
Thank you, no.
Thank you, Nose.
16.
16. I'll say that's enough. As you're averting your eyes, you're looking down. The pedestals, it seems to be made of stone. However, as you're scanning the ground, you see a book right beneath the chair that is covered in blood. And you look down and it says The Tale of Simonius the Hallowed.
I want to reach down and grab it, pick it up.
Okay, you grab it and you see a book. It is a large hunk of a man with covered in leathers, with his flowing blonde mane of hair and this crazy cool crown. And he looks incredibly heroic. And he's holding up this holy symbol to his god.
I would like to try to open it and, like, I guess, like, cut it in half.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess can I open? What can I do?
You pick it up and you can.
And it looks like a book.
It's a book. You grab it. It's a book.
Like a phone book.
I really wish we just stuck with this first answer of cutting it in half.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to like stab it.
Okay. So, how are you with your sword?
Why are you excited about
With your sword?
that?
Okay,
This
make
is
a
the most
attack roll.
ridiculous thing I ever
All it
fucking
That was
shows is
the
he
last
doesn't
thing,
listen
like-
to anything ever.
That's awesome.
20 or 18. Or 19.
18. So as you take your sword and you try to stab it, you feel this spiritual energy blast back at you, and you will take...
I hope it's a lot.
I love this shit, man.
10 points of force damage.
Oh shit!
As it blasts back,
From a book,
and
mind
it drops out of your hand. I need you to make a con saving throw.
Learning is my weakness.
I think it's plus 10, plus 9, 18.
18. And 18, you feel the stone trying to overcome your body, and you shrug, and all of the stone starts to shatter off of you.
Oh,
and you regain
The book! It has something to do with the book!
Yeah, obviously you're supposed to read the end of the story.
And
I didn't know that!
The freaking ghost in the mirror fucking told you that.
Well, you weren't here for. I think you missed it. You were.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mayo.
and so as the head turns to you as it's averting your gaze, and it is going to and lash out with its snake hair in the 3 directions, attacking the 3 of you.
Which 3 of us? There are 4 of us there.
The 3 that are unpetrified.
What about Amiria?
Amira, she is not being attacked. Sylvie, that is going to be a 12 to hit. That misses. As the snake here, you manage to dodge out of the way. Annulin, oh my god, okay, you're retired. Rodak.
I assume that means okay.
Yeah, I guess.
It does not hit you. Rodak, this does hit you as several of the snakes sink their fangs into you.
That's what you get for trying to stab the fucking book.
You take 11 points of piercing damage and...
Is it poison?
No, that's the piercing. I'm rolling the poison now.
Result, boys. Get money.
15 points of poison damage. As the venom
So I
from...
round down, so it'd be 7. Right?
7 points. Yeah. The fangs sink into you, Annulin and Sylvie. You manage to dodge out of the way. And,
That's my line.
Yeah, and so with that, it's Annulin's turn.
Okay, so I am going to, like, animate, run by, covering my eyes.
Okay,
and
you're covering your eyes.
go around the back of it, and I'm gonna look at it through the mirror and, like, shoot backwards at it.
Okay, so you do that, and allow me to pull up my Medusa rules real quick. Okay, you can't see its eyes, so yeah, you look back and you shoot. It is not turning to you. You're not facing its eyes.
Do I have to shoot at disadvantage because I'm looking in the mirror?
I would say yes. Yes, you would.
Okay, I thought maybe I'd be able to, like, not do
You're
that.
just not petrified instantly. So.
Okay, 17 to hit, and ooh, double 14s, and 22 to hit.
Both of those hit. Roll damage, please.
I don't think it's gonna do anything, but maybe I'll get its attention. 13 plus 16 is 29.
29. And you're going to look at it through the mirror, and both fly in and just completely shatter, doing no damage to the statue. As it does, however, turn towards you, and you're going to look at it through the mirror.
I don't think that I would... I don't know. I mean, like, I think I would be so stupefied I wouldn't think to look away, to be honest.
Okay, so it turns and you see its eyes through the mirror, and you make a Constitution saving throw. As the eyes flare.
You got this.
That's
16.
16, you manage to shrug off the petrifying magic of this Medusa, and it's turned away from all of your friends, and it's just directly at you. With that, it is Amiria's
It's my
turn.
reaction to try to sketch a picture of exactly how Avantris looks in this moment, so I can never forget.
Lone Guard has the best point. If Avantris happens to meet his end, the plus side is I would not have to worry about his arm rotting, and I can chisel it off.
Wow.
Bad Lone Guard. Bad. No, Lone Guard. No.
Yes.
And you start to, as it is Amiria, or as Vandris' turn, Vandris, as you look at Vandris, and you start to see that the fragments are starting to crumble. As his form is just starting to kind of crumble away.
What the fuck?
As this is going on. And then with that is it's Amiria's turn.
Why is no one else more concerned? Is this all I mean to you people? A half-crumbled statue?
I asked if my lesser restoration would do anything, but it won't.
And Emiria is like, I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing here? And then she goes
the book.
She goes to grab the book and she chucks it at you.
No, it knocked me away.
And then on my turn, I will read the last bit of the book to the guy in the mirror.
And she throws it over to you, and she is going to look at you, Rodek, and say, like, you're looking pretty rough, and you'll take some healing word heals.
Oh, wow.
And
thank you, Emiria.
You're going to take 6 points of healing. And
thank you.
Hey, it's all I got.
I'm grateful.
Sylvie, your turn.
I'm gonna open the book and read the ending.
Make an investigation check for me, please.
Oh God.
Oh, dear Lord.
Can I use our
Yes.
one thing?
You may.
Okay.
We're using a twist of fate.
Twist of fate. You have a special twist of fate.
I got a natural one.
Is there
No.
I thought we had like a
the last
special
twist
one.
of fate?
No? Okay.
You should get a gigantic
What is
one.
it?
5.
Pickles.
8.
8.
Wait,
So,
I think. You said investigation?
Yep.
7.
7. So, you're flipping through.
Throw me the book.
You're flipping through the bloody book, and you're towards the end, and your eyes shoot across all of it, trying to find words of the last scene, and you manage to find part of it. Simonius the Hallowed is locked in combat with the dreaded Medusa when all looks lost and he feels his skin start to turn to stone. He clutches his silver holy symbol of Tyr, the god of law and justice. The symbol is it's the combined forms of a hammer and a scale that form a symbol cross shape. Oh, hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
In a cross shape, however, that is where you lose your place in the heat of battle.
Oh.
Okay.
So who's up?
My turn?
Rodek, you're up.
Rodek's up.
Throw me the book.
That's your whole action, right?
Yeah, I
like,
guess so. I
mean,
can't throw you the book. I had to use my action to do that.
Can as a bonus action? Throw
I would
it?
say as a free object interaction, because Emiria tossed it to you, you can just you can just toss it to him.
Okay, I'll throw it to Rhoda.
Would you have read that out loud?
Of course.
And I grab it and I open it up and then I put on my eyes and my
Investigation check, please.
Maybe you should have tried that in the first place instead of trying to stab it, you dumb oaf.
Oh, you absolute dumb oaf is
You
right.
rolled double one.
No, we got a 7 and a 1.
Oh, God. Slightly better.
8.
You basically, with that roll, you were able to basically read what Sylvie just told you.
Oh, I only got through it. You got.
Why didn't you start after where I started?
You lost your place.
Learning is my weakness!
And with that, it is the Medusa's turn, and this is going to shoot the snake hair at I guess it's facing towards Annulin, all 3 at you.
Oh shit.
It's not even gonna glance at itself in the mirror. That was my plan.
It does seem to look at itself in the mirror, and nothing seems to be happening, even though it is reflecting through you. One is gonna miss, another's gonna miss, but the other one is going to hit. That is going to deal
400 points of damage.
that's going to be 9 points of piercing damage and 15 points of poison damage as the fangs sink into you. But the other 2 you're able to dodge the mass of this hair. Okay, you're up.
Oh, it's me. You didn't throw me the book.
I could pass it to you. Do you want to come get it?
That's true.
I would say free object interaction would be fine.
And I can use my reaction to pass it.
Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
rush over to Rodek and grab the book, and
Okay.
I'll pick up from the last thing that was read.
Okay. If you have your hand up, okay, make an investigation check, please.
Keep reading.
I say.
17.
17, okay. So you manage to get the spot where Sylvie left off, and you manage to flip several pages past that point of your last reading. Simonius is clutching his holy symbol of Tyr tightly and is seemingly warded off petrification by the Medusa, and he's forced back. He shouts to the heavens and curses the creature, saying, "Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!" It's there that you lose your place in the heat of battle.
And Are you still petrified?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'll go to like toss it at him and be like, ah, and like take it back. And
I get it now. I get it.
Where's
I'm gonna
Sylvie? You're
change
standing
the
right next
spelling
to
of
him,
his
right?
name.
over here.
Any update?
As you see Vanris start of his elbow crack
I am gonna
and fall.
Yeah, you're gonna literally be permanent
And-
if we don't get this done.
or I'm gonna bleed to death as soon as I come out flush with the stone here. Stone to
This
flush.
it just crumbles. And Emiria, I'm going to roll an intelligence check.
Well, fuck.
And she is looking away and she's scanning the room. And she reaches over and she grabs something off of the shelf. And she holds up something that says like, is this what the holy symbol looked like in the book? And you turn and you see it looks to be like almost like a silver cross with a scale and a hammer. It seems to be a similar holy symbol to the one that was in the book.
Yeah.
Can you use it?
Say the words, Emiria. Say the words.
Let me try, and she holds it up, and all of a sudden the symbol starts to glow, and it takes all of her energies to heave it up, and it is radiating light. The Medusa lets out a hiss as you start to see some of the stone starts to crumble as it's radiating from this holy symbol of Tyr, a god of goodness and justice. And it's like, I think that's all I can do. Okay, Sylvia, you're up.
I'm going to rush over and take the book,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to read from where Anulin left
Investigation check, please.
That didn't count.
That doesn't count.
off.
Oh no, that counted. It counted.
No, I got a 4.
A 4. So you take it in the heat of the battle, you lose your place, and you're
Rip out a
flipping
couple of
through.
pages.
Yeah, it's something that you rip out some of the earlier pages. Like, oh shit! It's actually impossible to rip it out, but you're flipping through, and you're only able to just kind of find what you've already read before.
And I'm just gonna toss it. I'm just gonna hand it to Rodak.
Rodak.
I'll immediately flip to hopefully get something a little better than that.
12.
13.
Oh, dear lord.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that we rely on for this.
Well, con's not my strong.
Oh, wait, no. There's an actual provision in that. 17.
Investigation.
17.
Yeah.
Okay, so you manage to find the spot. You finally find the final several pages of the book. Simonius had warded off the Medusa's curse, holding his holy symbol, and invoked the thunderous power of Tyr with his words. The Medusa is now cowering as the holy power of the gods always triumphs over evil. After the invocation, he grabs his blessed whip and strikes the Medusa between her vile eyes, which splits her in two.
Is it a whip? Is it a whip somewhere?
Well, just hit her. Just hit her between the eyes. Smack her.
And you say that, and I'll say that's your turn.
Yeah.
As it's the Medusa's turn, and she's going to turn, and she's going to snake attack you, Rodak.
A disadvantage, maybe?
And that's going to hit. She seems to still be going, but it's going to hit you, though. That's going to be 11 points of piercing damage. And 10 points of poison damage. And then we're going to get one on Anulin, and that's going to miss. And we're going to get one on Emiria, and that's going to be a hit as she takes... and you see like a good number of snakes get into her skin, and the venom seeps in. Shit! Read faster, guys! And then she is going to take that much plus...
Oh no.
Okay. And with that, it is Annie's turn.
Who has the book?
Rodak is the book.
Okay.
And the book's end. The book's over.
Oh, the
That's
book's
it.
ended. Okay.
Yeah,
I
and that's the
didn't
end of
know
the
there
book.
was- So I'm gonna look around the room and see if I see a whip.
Perception check, please.
Okay. I trust you.
I don't trust you.
You said perception? 16.
16, that's just enough. As you're scanning the room, avoiding your eyes, you see that there's a number of different weapons and items and artifacts all along this, and you see hanging up an ancient-looking leather whip on a hook that's not too far from where you are.
Okay. So I'm gonna go grab it off the wall.
Great music for this.
Would I be able to also make an attack with it or no?
I would say you use your turn to look around for it, and then you were able to grab it.
Okay.
That was your full action, probably.
That sounds good.
Cool.
I've got it.
Vandris, as you see Vandris, his entire knee
Jesus
crackles
Christ!
and falls off, and then part of his thigh crumbles.
This is such an undignified way to go.
Falls off, and then Emiria is going to go over to Vandris and say, "You're looking real rough," and she's going to place her hand on it, and then you glow for a second, and she says, "Sorry, that didn't work." As Sylvia, it's your turn.
I'm gonna grab the whip from Annulin, and I'm gonna smack her in the middle of the eyes.
Okay, so you go and you grab it from Annulin, and I need to make an attack roll with an improvised weapon, unless you're proficient.
What is that? As an attack roll, what's the...
it'll just be plus strength.
Is it Dex or Strength?
Or Dex.
A 9.
A 9, as you grab the whip and you fling it, and it whips and it just flies left of this floating Medusa head.
Nice try! Hurry, please!
Let me try it!
Stupid whip, and I'm gonna throw it, but no, I'm just kidding. No, I'll throw it at Rhoda.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I have to wonder what would happen if we instantly tried to fireball the thing and burn the book, like, instantly.
Well, when he tried to do it,
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm gonna grab the whip, and I will use the attack action to attack 3 times.
Okay, so I'll say your first attack. Make an attack.
Pretty good.
And it's Dex.
Yep.
Oh boy, pretty not great.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Oh.
Profession.
Yep.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Oh, look at that.
22 to hit.
22 to hit. You whip it, and although the radiating blast of Tyr's holy symbol seem to have started this thing to crumble, you smack it, and it seems to have no effect on the
sideways.
You gotta say the words.
Monkey nuts.
What are the words?
I don't remember.
Oh,
You going? You don't belong here.
This is just an utter clusterfuck.
Make an intelligence check to see if you can remember it.
I mean, you've. Oh
No.
shit.
Well, it's a 1.
God.
So
Oh my.
I will say the words, evil monster, you don't belong in this world! And I try to attack again. It hits.
It hits. It has no effect.
Skedaddle, skedaddle, your hair's a bunch of noodles!
Make another intelligence check.
That's better. 17.
17. You now finally remember with your last attack. It's die, monster. You don't belong in this world.
But it was close. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. And I... 20...
Roll a natural 1.
No, 24.
24. So, as you whip it, and as the whip strikes the center of the statue's head, its glowing eyes flash one last time as it lets out a shriek, and the marble creature explodes into small fragments, quickly followed by the shattering of the mirror hanging on the far wall. As the dust from the destroyed statue settles, Edward's spirit hovers above you with a soft smile on his face. And as you turn to Vandris,
well, this is not going to be good.
As you turn to Vandris, you look over, and he's just standing there, frozen in place. Vandris, you thought that you had been turned to stone. And you look down, and you're fine.
What in the
There was no stone. You're not petrified. You're not crumbling. He's just basically standing like in a piece of performance art, in place for several seconds before realizing that you're totally fine.
But he looked like stone to us, right?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Why were you standing there like that?
No, you were just stone. You must have
Oh, I was gonna try and trick him.
That would have been amazing.
We're leaving.
No.
We're leaving now.
Stupid dwarf ruins everything, Emiria.
He needs to lead us on to the next place, right? You're fine. You're fine. I mean, you're fine.
I turn and I walk out of the room away from the Gorgons.
As you leave,
Medusa head.
You feel something cold in your hand as Emiria hands you a flask as you walk out. As Edward turns to look over all of you. What a great ending to a great book. Thank you, friends. I now remember the ending to my story. I was just getting to the battle between Simonius and the Medusa when the door to my private reading nook opened, and my brother was standing before me holding a book older than any I had ever seen. The cover was so worn, but there was a symbol of 3 strange interlocking triangles. He was very pleased with himself and announced that he had learned something that even I didn't know. I was more interested in my story than playing his little game, but I asked him what he meant. And then he asked if I had ever heard of the Cloven. When I said no, he was very glad. He thanked me for giving him someone to always compete against, and for helping him finally best me. That's when he plunged his dagger into my neck. It was only in death that I was able to learn what he was talking about. In the wholesale slaughter of my household, my brother had triggered some ancient ritual held within that horrible book. The next time he darkened the door of this library, my prison, he had with him a companion, as fiendishly awful as she was ethereally beautiful, as well as a chalice that was far more hideous than the monster that stood by his side. I knew then that he killed us all for a cup, and he somehow thought he'd finally be happy with the power that it brought him. I just wish I had done a better job letting him know that it was never a competition between us. It shouldn't have been a competition. As I bled out in my chair, he said he had to drop his things off in his room, and he needed Ingrid to prepare his quarters. Even in my dying moments, betrayed by my own brother, I couldn't have believed that he would turn his blade on our nanny. She was the only one to show him any affection. But I'm sure she'd love to meet all of you. His specter shifts into a mode of light, streaks through the shelves and out of the library.
What did Emiria put in my hand? I'm also going to be out here on a beanbag collecting my brain.
You sit down and you see a circular flask with a compass rose on it, and feels pretty full. You unscrew it. It smells like some pretty good whiskey.
I take a huge draw.
You down a ton of it. And you feel a hand on your shoulder, and it's a strong hand of Amiri, and she looks down and says, like, "You okay, fella?"
I look up at her, and I'm touching my elbows and my hand. What the fuck was that?
Okay, that was pretty fucking weird.
I recap the, thanks. I hand it back to her.
You hold on to it. When I need it, give me a drink.
I tuck it into my, my cloak. Oh, did the kid say anything of value?
Yeah, I'll let your friends tell you.
All right.
Let's go. And you all reconvene in the library if you care to discuss there or otherwise.
Well, anyways, what you missed is he killed his entire household to gain access to this cup and summon Solaris. You must be the Cloven.
Do you think that she brought the cup with her?
Maybe.
Perhaps. I mean, it all seemed like a single ritual, is what he made it sound like, and it all had to do with this book. And I doubt the book's in here, but we should keep an eye out to see while we're here. Let's look for a book that has 3 interlocking triangles on it.
Somebody else take the lead. I'm staying in the middle for now.
I'll go on ahead. Stay behind me, and we should be fine. And I'm gonna peek my head out. Do I see any glowing blue?
Are you, where are you?
I'm here. I'll stick my head out that way.
As you lean your head out, you see a glowing blue door that you passed previously, right here.
Are we ready to go on?
Yeah, I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Alright, let's go.
My answer would be no, but I'm with Sylvia on this one. What else are we gonna do?
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there is a very narrow hallway. And it gives way quite easily, and you see that there's another door that ends here and connects
right there to another hallway. I'll just say it's glowing blue as well and unlocks. And you turn. And you'll turn, and as you look down the hallway, all the doors, save from one down to the end on the right, it's completely filled with rubble. However, that door, there's a strange glow coming from beyond the frame. Door's open. And as you approach, you hear the sound of bubbling and rippling liquid.
While we're going through this, I just want to keep an eye out, kind of keep using my passive perception to kind of keep an eye out for anything that resembles the 3 triangles interlocking.
Okay.
Whether it's on a book or on the wall or whatever.
Okay. As you're all heading down the hallway, Amiri's like, you see her flipping through a book, and as you all had been leaving, you notice the library, all of the books that had been flapping had littered the floor. The magic within them seemingly lost. And Amiri is reading through the joke book, and she says, would it cheer you up if I told you a horrible kobold joke?
I'm not going to say no.
So as you're walking, she says, a strong kobold warrior named Dorgi wishes to be the leader of his tribe. So he goes to the great and powerful dragon his tribe worships for the dragon's blessing. Young Drogi, I see you want to lead your tribe and protect your people. But first you must pass my ritual of acceptance. Dorgi is happy to show himself to be the great warrior that he is and be respected by his tribe. He says, I will do anything that is asked of me. The dragon explains to Dorgi he must do 3 things in one night to prove his worth. First, he must drink a whole skin of dwarven mead. Then, armed with only teeth and claw, he must defeat the great bugbear, Gertrude, in her dark cave. Then he has to mate with one of the dragon's daughters under the fading moonlight. Dorgi is confident that he can complete the ritual without issue and immediately races down with a full skin of mead. He quickly chugs the entire skinful with no breaks and then drunkenly staggers into Gertrude's dark cave. After many long hours of tremendous din and loud howling, a young Dorgi stumbles out of the cave looking like death nearly took him. He looks at the dragon and says, okay, now where are these daughters you want me to kill?
I'm standing there and I look at her and I go, that was actually pretty good. I'm surprised. That was pretty good.
That's awesome.
You feeling better, buddy? You feeling better?
It almost makes me forget about the horrible existential crisis I just went through.
That's good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a few more. I can barely read. It's horribly decayed, but I can read a few more. We'll go over that later. Anyway, you're in the hallway looking down, and there's this open door with a glow.
I appreciate the levity, but are you ready?
It's now or never.
All right. And I'll walk through the threshold of the door.
As you turn to enter the room, you see a large bedroom.
It's straight across.
Oh, no,
right?
it's up to the right. And let me pull away. I think it is. I could be wrong. I'm not wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm the DM.
I can never be the DM. There we go. So. You see a large bedroom that seems to have once been lavishly decorated. Let me see, I'm center here. There we go. Lavishly decorated, but has since fallen to extreme decay. A huge 4-poster bed is against the far wall. You see a wooden object resting on top, and upon immediate inspection, you realize it's a coffin. Its lid wide open. Flanking you on nearly all sides are large desks and tables, completely covered with files, speakers, basins, jars, flasks, and other containers filled with brightly colored liquids that give off a ghastly glow, many of which bubble and pop on their own. These are surrounded by many labeled reagents of all varieties. Besides the bed, you see a massive ornate grandfather clock, its pendulum moving and its clock face shattered and hands bent. Finally, by the broken vanity, there's a sizable mirror that flashes with a blue glow. And as you enter, it's a small room, and you can easily see a figure within the mirror. A woman in her later years. Short, round.
Thank you.
Short and round, in a dark, modest dress with a white apron, which is faintly stained with blood on the edges of its right side. Loops of white hair protrude beneath a black bonnet. Her nose is long and pointed, flanked by plump and flushed cheeks. She smiles as she looks down from the mirror. Oh my, I wasn't expecting company so soon. I'm dreadfully sorry, my dearies, for the mess. I am Ingrid Reinhold, the nanny and maid of this household. But ever since that one night little Alphonse came home from university, I have not been able to clean up this mess. That poor boy. He was never very good at much. Bless his little heart. But there was one thing about Alphonse LeBlanc. When he got knocked down, he always got back up again. Every single time. When he decided to become an alchemist, he would lock himself in here for days, trying and failing to create all sorts of concoctions. Of course, I was responsible for cleaning up the mess of it all. I never knew why he would work like he was running out of time. I would always tell him to pause and smell the daisies, but he was young and had his whole life ahead of him. Her eyes turn sad as her smile drops. But he never listened to me. I knew he was a lonely boy, but I did everything I could to make him feel loved, even if he got no such attention from his parents or even siblings. I saw so much potential in him, but I didn't want him to kill himself trying to shoot for the sun, only to crash back down to Avantris. I tried so hard to make him not take his failures to heart, but the poor boy did. Every failure made him angrier, strengthened his resolve, and he kept bashing his head against whatever it was he did, like he was running out of time. I suppose, just like my sweet little Alphonse, I failed. Until the day I died trying to get through to him. But then, I don't remember. I just wish I had gotten through to him. Her head falls forward in shame. And then the door to Alphonse's room shuts. And you hear a loud locking sound.
Well, is that what I think it was? And I walk over and I try to turn the door.
Turn the door. It's locked.
All right, nobody panic. We can handle this.
Her spirit fades from the mirror just like before with the other spirits.
She said get through to him.
Let's just spread out and start taking a look around the room. I want to start examining the tables. I'm assuming these are tables with like stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to examine the coffin.
So,
generally
investigation check,
Same.
at advantage, and then just 2 investigation checks at advantage.
Oh.
I'm going to roll one of them.
17.
23.
23. So, you look around, Sylvie, and you see in the coffin, it's sitting, it seems to honestly be newer and more recently touched than this bed. Everything is covered in a layer of dust, and inside this coffin there is a thin layer of dirt. And it seems to be just an old wooden coffin. Avantris, you find a number of vials. However, that there's one seems to be the only one that seems to not have a color radiating from it. It seems to just have a clear liquid, and around it a bunch of labeled reagents. Blue vitriol, brimstone, quicksilver, powdered lodestone, fulminating silver, aqua fortis, azoth, chalk, stibnite, gum arabic, lye, plumbago, railgar, salt of hartshorn, white vitriol, wolfram, ether, dream powder, ambergris, and pitch.
I hope you guys all got that, because you're going to be embarrassed when he asks you to repeat it back, and I'm the only one who can repeat it.
So, just tell me again, what were all the things you just said?
There was lumbago and radish and rutabaga and
ratatouille, right?
Yeah, something like that, and saltpeter and water and a cigarette, and I got nothing.
Rusty nail.
Okay, so there are all these ingredients and one clear liquid vial.
Do you think, and I'll walk up behind Avantris and I'll say, do you think we need to make something?
Well, knowing that this is a game, yes, but without the meta knowledge, I would say that we probably shouldn't touch any of this stuff until we have any idea what it does. Let's just keep looking and see what we can find in this room before we touch anything.
I want to look around for like any kind of recipe book, like
Make an
books.
investigation check.
Can I use my eyes of minute seeing?
Sure.
23.
23. You look around.
22. Sorry.
You don't seem to find any kind of recipe books.
Sylvie, what do you find?
Absolutely nothing. A thin layer of dust in a coffin.
Usually there's a thick layer of dust in the coffin.
And you would know that how? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in coffins now? That seems like a strange thing for a wood elf to say.
I know. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else of interest besides the...
And some of interest are all the beakers and things of various liquids.
So they're all the ones you mentioned
Yeah.
are the ones that are
Those
there.
are just lesser ingredients.
Right, and then there's just the one, and they're all full.
They're all full.
There's none that are empty except for
No.
the one that is a clear
Yep.
liquid.
Yep.
Well...
Are there the beakers? They're all glowing different colors, or they're this
Variety
mixture?
of different colors. Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I think that there's any chance that we're smarter than Alphonse, although it does kind of sound like there's a good chance that he's just some giant hack. The last time that we got put in a position like this, we ended up helping Orpheus almost bring about the end of the world. So I'm a little hesitant to start picking things up and mixing them together.
The way it's...
No, I was just gonna say we don't even know what we'd be trying to mix.
I agree.
The way it sounds like to me is that we're helping his family find rest. That we're freeing them from these prisons. And perhaps...
I agree with that.
Perhaps he is expecting this and wants us to do it, but at least he's fooling me. If it is. And they keep mentioning the things they wish they had done. Edward wished he'd finished the book, so we had to finish the book for him.
Well, she just wished that she had gotten through to him. To prevent this whole mess of problems in the first place.
So can we make some kind of potion?
He was stubborn, and he always kept trying, no matter what.
Is there like a charm potion? Some kind of...
I don't know how to make potions.
I don't know if any of us
I don't
do.
know. I don't know what you're asking now. We don't have a recipe. There are no books. We're locked in here. Maybe there was a book in the other room and we didn't grab it because we're idiots. And hindsight is 20/20. So we didn't know that we were going to go into a room where we were going to need the book that was going to have the potion ingredients in it, so that we could make the potion, so we could tell the ghost that Alphonse has changed his mind and he's not a bad guy anymore. But we don't know any of that.
Well, Avantris, why don't you try to pick the lock and perhaps we can go back to the library?
Oh, dear Lord. Fine. I go and I inspect the lock. Do I get any idea that this is the same sort of force blasting bullshit lock that we encountered before?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, that's one I'm not good at. 17.
17. You get the sense that it is probably a force blasting.
I immediately turn back to Rebecca and say, yeah, I'm not touching that.
I want to inspect the grandfather clock with the weird hand.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
That's right. What's the big job?
I don't see anything. And 9.
9.
Sylvia, what are you looking at?
Well, grandfather clock has weird hands. Annulin has weird hands. I'm just looking for connections.
I'm a bit taller than you. Maybe I can get closer to the face.
Annulin's face? Sure, if you want to, but she hasn't shaved her mustache in 3 days.
No, I go over to the. I go over to the grandfather clock.
Okay. You go over to the grandfather clock and investigate it.
Bingo, 30.
30. As you start investigating
But my hands are very hairy.
you are tapping along it, and you feel like a piece of parchment from behind it. You
That's handy.
grab it, and you find a very rudimentary recipe for a love potion. Seems to be scrawled by a young person.
Oh, we have one of those in our bag.
Sylvie, you were right.
We have a filter of love in our bag.
A what?
It's a love potion.
Where did we get that?
Like around the time that we were fighting hags. We've had it in our bag for a long time.
I suppose we could try it, but in worst case scenario, we can take a look at what this recipe says. I mean, what are we going to use it on? The only thing I worry about is that they may... Look, I don't know anything about this, but maybe they have different properties or something along those lines.
What do you mean? Oh, I'm not saying we use our filter of love on... I don't even know where we would use a potion.
Well, that's
you
what I'm
can't pour
saying.
a potion on a ghost and make it love.
Well, we're going to be making one anyway here.
But no, I was just letting you know we had one. I'm not offering it to you.
All right, I hand this over. Somebody work with this.
Okay.
Should I do it? Why don't you do it? You know, like plants and shit, right?
I could try.
Go on. You'll be great.
Okay. You look, and you see that there are 4 ingredients. There's Alchemist Fire is the first. Aqua Fortis is the second. Plumbago is the third. The 4th one is completely illegible.
Illegible?
Illegible.
What was the second one? Aqua Fortis?
Aqua Fortis and then Plumbago.
Are the other ones easily labeled? Are all, like, you read them off, are they labeled?
They're all labeled.
So what are the 3?
And we have the 3, we just don't know what the 4th
Alchemist Fire,
Okay.
Aqua Fortis, Plumbago.
Any idea... do you have an easily consumable list that we could look at?
I could... Here, let me...
Instead of you, like, reading them off over and over again.
I could print this out, probably. If that would probably take a bit.
It's probably not worth it to print it out. I didn't know if you could, like, put it in the group chat.
I can put it in the group chat, yeah, for sure.
That would be easier.
Can I look at the other 3 ingredients and, like, kind of get a visual description of what they look like in their containers?
Good call.
So they are... Let me... Just put this in the group chat.
Cool. Alright.
And Alchemist Fire is this kind of goopy green substance. Blue vitriol is this blue kind of silvery substance. Brimstone is this foul-smelling gray stone. Quicksilver is a goopy silver. Powdered lodestone is a black black shimmering powder. Fulminating silver is like this powdered silver. Aqua Fortis is kind of this turquoise dust. Azoth.
I was kind of talking the ones that are on those lists.
Oh, the ones that are on those lists.
Yeah.
Plumbago is this bright purple fine powder. What was the other one?
Alchemist
Fire was the green goopy business, and then Aqua Fortis was the aqua colored powder.
Okay. I was hoping they'd be like primary color.
Wait, you said it was green,
Turquoise,
blue,
purple.
And purple. It was like aqua, purple, and...
Interesting. And there's only one more ingredient? And we only have 3?
Yeah.
There's
So
a
list 3, but there's one more missing.
of what you need. Everything's available on the desk.
Interesting.
What's real gar?
Real gar is kind of like orange tan, like flakes.
I never knew. Well, why don't we think about what would be useful for a love potion?
Alchemist Fire, Aqua Fortis,
What's vitriol mean?
Plumbago.
Vitriol is like this kind of bright red inky substance.
What does that word mean though? Like out of
Vitriol,
character?
like it's
Like
it's
spiteful.
potent, spiteful, explosive.
Sorry, you said blue vitriol is red?
What was that?
You said it's red?
Yes.
What's the color of Aqua's fire?
Green.
Ah. And, Aquafortis?
Like a teal.
And Plumbago.
What color is white vitriol?
Like a purple.
Yeah, what color is white vitriol?
White vitriol is like a yellow.
That's so interesting.
What is the salt of... Is it hartshorn or hartshorn?
That is like this kind of like flaky off-white substance.
Stibnite.
Why is the last thing on the list illegible?
It seems to have been crossed out and then written and then crossed out and then written and then crossed out, and it seems to have been smeared over and over again. I'd say that's pretty obvious to say.
Okay.
Do you think we can try different things?
I'm worried that if we try the wrong thing, this room's pretty small.
How many vials are on the tables that are filled with stuff, not the clear?
There's dozens.
It's all of the ones he mentioned. That's it.
So maybe the clear one is the one that is crossed out.
But that's like a beaker. Everything else is labeled.
So it's not a clear liquid.
It's like a clear liquid with...
My impression was the ingredients had to go in that one.
Would I be able to... And tell me if this is completely ridiculous, but would I be able to kind of like smell the beakers and smell the ingredients and see if there's one that I don't detect in a beaker?
I would make a perception check.
21.
21. You are sniffing around, and it's very difficult for you to make any kind of guess like that.
Well, just based on these names, the first one that pops out to me is Dream Powder.
I agree.
We can try it, but I'm worried that if the results go poorly, this could be disastrous for us in a small room.
And if we screw it up, we only have this one thing. I guess unless we like poured out the other ones, but that seems like I just don't want to touch anything.
We need to try something. We can't just...
I agree. It's another situation. We can't just sit here forever.
Are there any other like drawers or anything that we haven't opened or...
No. I would say with the investigating you've been doing, you have all the information.
Well, I'm going to say, we put it to a vote. I vote we try Dream Powder.
I agree.
Amiri, do you have any...
That sounds right. Sounds good.
Well, we got 3.
Selby?
I'm looking in my bag.
All right, let's just
see Sylvie just rooting around.
I guess I'll be the one to do it. Maybe everyone just stand back. I'm pretty nimble. If I need to get out of the way, I think we can do it.
Okay.
So, looking at the ingredients list, I'm going to add them in that order. And then the Dream Powder last.
Okay. You...
Just a little bit of each.
Add each ingredient.
Equal parts, I suppose.
And as soon as you finish the concoction, the potion bubbles, roils, flashing green before spilling out, and the vial shatters, sending ghastly green smoke and flame up into the air that hangs above you. And suddenly you hear a reverberating sound echo through the room. The grandfather clock pendulum begins to swing. And you hear it bong, bong, bong 12 times. Then tick, tick, several moments, bong, bong. It bongs 11 times. And then several moments pass, it bongs 10 times. As the echoing clock continues to count down, you all see the flasks on the countertops lose their color, and the shattered pieces of the flask that you had is gone, and in the place of the original sits a clear flask as the clock starts to tick down, as the room is now kind of looming with this green sinister smoke and alchemical fire hanging in the air.
I think we better hurry up.
And it's still counting down.
Bongs 8 times.
Everybody fill a vial with the 3 and just grab an ingredient and try it.
Well, we only have one that we can put in.
Oh, I thought all of them were empty now. I thought you said they were all clear.
So they're all clear, but they're all corked, and the one in the center is still the one.
So did it reset?
It seemed to have reset. Yeah.
That's the idea. So it's exactly as it was. We still have one that we can put things into.
7 bongs, and then the room starts to get darker as you start to see the green smoke coalescing in front of you.
Well, as far as dream powder goes, it clearly wasn't the right answer. Let's pick another one.
6 bongs.
What about lie? Because Alphonse is a liar.
Sure.
Let's do it. And we put them in the order with lie as the fourth.
Okay.
Sorry.
You finish your second concoction, and once it stops, as soon as you put it in, the ticking of the grandfather clock stops. However, this potion once again shatters, sending green alchemical flame and smoke into the air that hovers above you. As you start to see it take shape, hooded skeletal reapers stare down at you, watching and waiting as the clock begins to tick down. 12 bongs.
Okay, well, this is getting worse every time we try.
Reset the timer.
What are the, it's Alchemist Fire, Blue Vitriol. What are the first 4 again?
No, it's AAP.
11 bongs.
It's Aquafortis, Alchemist Fire, and Plumbago, not in that order. Alchemist Fire, Aquafortis, Plumbago, AAP. Trust me, I was already trying to figure out if there was some sort of a pattern here. We have a little bit of time, but this is getting worse.
Do I know what ambergris is?
Yeah, it's like an amber-colored, business.
But
it's a gross whale stuff, right?
Yeah, it's really pungent and potent.
I'm gonna just grab. Oh, I shouldn't do
7 bongs. Six.
Maybe we
bongs.
should try the salt. It has the word heart in it. Or
it's better than nothing.
That's right. Just do it.
Any objections?
I'm gonna mix all with hartshorn.
You mix all of it in hartshorn?
Yeah, same first 3 ingredients in the...
You mix all of it, and the clock stops. You look at the potion, and it bubbles over and shatters, filling it with more in the air. Now you see 3 hooded skeletal figures looking down at you, pointing with their fingers, with large sides, as the clock bong, bong, and it bongs 12 times.
I add brimstone.
What?
Add brimstone.
You add brimstone. And you add brimstone. It stops. Shatters. Fills in the air. As you see 4 Reaper figures. As...
I'm gonna just add the 3.
You just add the 3, and it seems to do nothing as it bongs to 11.
I'm gonna do it and do ambergris.
Okay. You add ambergris. It smokes and bubbles up, shattering. 5.
I'm gonna add silver, fulminating silver.
As it...
I'm assuming we have until 12.
As... It shatters.
Shit.
And the clock stops.
21 options. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The clock stops. And all of a sudden, these 5 skeletal figures
That's not good.
descend
Oh, dear
upon
God.
you as they all float down. Beings, reapers, made out of alchemical fire, all look at you, and they move forward to attack. And I need everyone for initiative.
Oh, this is not good at all.
I'm so
As the
mad
clock
at Puzzle.
stays still.
Well, I'm not rolling well tonight.
Okay, 20 to 25.
21.
21, okay. 15 to 20.
16.
Okay.
My initiative's always so
Rhotic and
bad.
Sylvie?
8.
11.
Okay. I'll roll for Miria.
We do, Mia. We enjoy digging deeper and deeper holes. This is what we do here on Legends of Avantris.
And then they are going to get... okay. And so we have 5 figures that I'm going to place. You guys, so you can place yourself here. I think that's fine. Whatever is going better. Here. It's fine either way. As the creatures are all standing or floating above you. These horrific creatures that seem to be burning and blazing. Their forms made out of smoke and alchemical fire. As their reaper forms go into swing. Annually, you're up. What are you doing?
I'll just kind of panic at this one that came down, and I'll fire an arrow at it.
Okay.
You do brimstone, right?
So at disadvantage, that's 19 to hit.
19 to hit, that hits.
What's the 5th one?
We tried
Silver.
11 damage.
11 damage to number
Chelsea
what?
did silver.
Number 3.
Number 3. And you have a magical bow, right? So you fire, your magical bow pierces through it for 11 damage to number 3.
Chelsea also did silver.
Only any silver?
So just seeing that he, that has effect, I've kind of like shaken that off, and I'll fire again.
Yep. Their AC's 13. Just they're large and they don't seem to be very mobile. They're just kind of looming as just these testaments to your fear and failure and doom.
Okay, so that's 14 to hit.
14 to hit. Okay, that hits.
Ooh, 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay, 15
to number 3. Again.
Okay, so you fire through and it pierces through, and the Reaper starts to lose shape a little bit as it seems to be actually doing some damage. Okay, Avantris, you're up.
I'm gonna attack the one that's right in front of me.
Okay.
Sorry. I forget what my plus is here. Weapons.
Oh, allow me to do my...
Plus 10, so 16.
16 to hit. That hits.
That's a pretty good fucking roll. That's gonna be, yeah, that's pretty good. That's gonna be 28, 35 plus 6, 41 points of damage.
41 points of damage to which number?
1.
Number 1.
Number 1. As you pull your rapier back and you stab it through the Reaper, it immediately loses form and just dissipates.
All right, not bad.
So that one's dead.
How much damage was that?
41.
Wow, Jesus.
I rolled very, very high. Much higher than almost max damage.
It is Emiria's turn, as she is just going to pull out her blades and slice the one that's in front of her. Both those are going to hit.
I hope these guys aren't like Tom Berries.
Like what?
What's the deal with that?
From Final Fantasy series, they're basically these guys that are just like, they have like a lantern and a knife, and they just like walk close to you, and they walk close to you, and then if they stab you, you instantly die.
Yep.
Oh, great.
But if they're like really easy to kill or like run away from.
Okay, so she swings and swings, and her blades slice through, and it starts to kind of lose its shape. It doesn't seem to do that much damage. Okay, with that, it is their turn, and they are each going to just make an attack against their target, and they are going to slice in. We're going to get one on Rodek. That's gonna miss. One on Sylvie. Natural 1. One on Annulin. These dice are fucking awful. Does an 18 hit? Annulin.
Yes.
Okay. You take 10 points of fire damage as the scythe slices across you, and you get a burning lesion on your skin.
Burning legion, you said.
And you get a burning lesion on your skin. At the start of each of your turns, it'll take 1d4 fire damage. As you see a green flame just burning on Annulin.
Oh fuck.
Okay. And then attacking Miria.
Shit.
And that is going to find Perks, and it slices her, and as she's burning too.
Yeah, she's burning too.
Okay. Got it. Okay. And with that, it is Sylvie's turn.
I'm gonna fire Eldritch Blast at those 3. A natural 1, so we've got to add that to our
Failure.
things.
Oh yeah.
Our failures.
Bum, 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 bum,
Alright,
bum,
let me go in there and do that. To our snake eyes. I can't add it right now. And then the other 2 hit.
Okay.
So,
Roll
if
damage.
it's a 13. That's the right one. And, oh my god, I just have too many dice. I don't know which ones are which. Oh, fuck it, I'll do that one. 15 on one and 14 on the other.
15 on one and 14 on the other.
Yeah.
So which numbers are those? Pardon me?
2 and 3.
15 on 2. So, okay. You blast the back of 2. It seems to be almost dispersing, but still holding form. And then 15, what was the other one? 21?
They both hit, so 3 took 14 damage.
3 took 14. 3 took 14. That was the one that was almost injured. It blasts through and just poofs into smoke.
Nice.
And dissipates. Okay.
I'm still screaming.
With that, it's Roderick's turn.
I'm gonna make a power attack. I've not been rolling well, so
Should be good.
Oh, 13.
Yeah.
13? Yeah,
Meter
that
beat.
hits.
Sweet. Okay, I'll roll the dice on that.
104.
Max damage.
Woo,
So
baby.
12 plus 6 is what? 18?
Yep.
28 damage for the first
Dang.
attack.
28 damage. You slice through, and it seems to cut through a lot of this.
I'll do another power attack. That hits. Better. 7 plus 6 is what? 13. Plus 10 is 23.
You
gotta be good.
cleave it through, and it poofs as it completely dissipates.
I'll run up to the one next to Sylvie.
Okay.
And I will make my final attack as a power attack. That'll do, pig. It hits.
Okay.
For our podcast viewers, 7 plus 6 is
That's one that's undamaged.
13 plus 10
Number
is
5
23.
is the one you're hitting?
Yeah.
The one that's
How many damage?
23 damage.
23 damage. You slice through, and it's looking fairly dispersed, but you're still going in. Annulin, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna fire an arrow, 2 arrows, one at 5 and one at number 2.
Okay.
Actually, I gotta do my fire damage. So 1 point of fire damage.
Okay. It's burning on you.
All right, so that's 18 to hit and 24 to hit.
Okay.
And they both have damage.
They're both damaged, yeah.
Which one's more damaged?
Number 2 is more damaged.
Okay. So number 2. That is going to be 11 damage.
Your arrow fires through, and poosh, it poofs off into nothingness.
And then number 5. So that is 12 plus 8, so 20 damage.
20 damage. Poof, you kill another one. Poof. And all of the Reapers dissipate. As Miria, patting herself off, she's going to take some more damage. And the quiet returns. As the quiet returns,
Do I feel like I missed anything with the grandfather clock, or like, I mean, I gave it a real.
you gave it a real thorough
Okay.
look.
All right.
And then,
Can you repeat what the
boom.
chick had said to us
Bong.
from the mirror?
Yes, I can.
We remember back to 5 minutes ago.
And you flash back. Say one thing about Alphonse LeBlanc. When he got knocked down, he always got back up again. Every single time. When he decided to become an alchemist, he would lock himself in here and spend days trying and failing to create all sorts of new concoctions. Of course, I was responsible for cleaning up the mess of all of it. I never knew why he would work like he was running out of time. I'd always tell him to pause and smell the daisies, that he was young and he had his whole life ahead of him. But he never listened to me. He was such a lonely boy, and I did everything I could to make him feel loved, even if he got no such attention from his parents, or even his siblings. I saw so much potential in him, but I didn't want him to kill himself trying to shoot for the sun only to crash back to Avantris. I tried so hard to not make him take his failures to heart, but the poor boy did. Every failure made him angrier, strengthened his resolve, and he kept bashing his head against whatever it was he did, like he was running out of time.
I suppose, just like my sweet little Alphonse, I failed. Until the day I died, I tried to get through to him. But then, I don't remember. I just wish I had gotten through to him. 12 bongs.
Oh shit.
Bong.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna try the white vitriol.
White vitriol. You add in the white vitriol, this viscous substance, and you add in all the ingredients, and it rattles and it explodes, and it billows up, and you see the first face of the Reaper.
I would like to see are any of the ingredients pink?
Look around. There are no. Hold on. What are the ingredient lists again?
Are daisies pink?
I thought daisies were white, but I could be wrong.
Yellow, too.
That's why I did white vitriol instead of the blue vitriol.
I guess daisies are
Because he
white.
talked
Daisies are
about
There's
about
no
being
pink.
angry
There's
and
no
then
pink.
smelling the daisies.
I'm going for the sun.
10 bongs.
Are
Bong.
any of them yellow?
Bong. Ambergris is yellow.
You tried that, didn't you?
Bong. Yeah.
Any other ones?
Bong. Yeah, the yellow, the one you tried.
White vitriol is yellow.
We haven't tried Quicksilver, have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that
Oh, yeah.
one already.
Bong.
So then you didn't try
Oh,
fulminating.
no, I tried fulminating silver.
Let's try Quicksilver.
8.
I mean, we just gotta keep crossing them off the list here, right?
I'm gonna try Quicksilver.
Okay.
We're getting close to a point where it's like,
You try Quicksilver, you add the Quicksilver, and it rattles and it explodes and billows up.
I'm gonna do blue vitriol.
You 3. Blue
That's
vitriol.
already-
that's already
That's
in
already-
there.
Oh, we've already done it.
Well, no, it's part of
It's
the
part of the
initial
original.
recipe.
And it
Azoth.
Ezoth. And you try it. 5.
Pitch?
Reaper. Figures. You throw in pitch. All 5 of the Reapers fly down, and everyone roll for initiative.
Alright. Let's make quick work of them. What are the odds that we would fucking...
Can we just kind of put them
I suck.
around again?
My rolls have been shit.
20, 25?
Attack.
Yeah. Put them in the background. One on each. 15, 25? 20, 25?
15 or 13. Sorry.
13? Sylvie and Van.
11.
Anion.
5. No, 9. Sorry.
What are we not picking up on?
I don't know.
I don't know. This one's tough. I'm looking for patterns. Maybe it's like I'm looking too deep, right? And the answer is like more surface level.
Okay, and then Mir's gonna
I'm
roll.
like looking at the first letter. I'm like looking at like, you know, shuffling things around and like trying to like look for hidden messages.
Okay, and so with that, it is. Oh, I need to roll. Okay. It is their turn first, and they are going to make an attack on everyone. We have Emiria, and that's going to miss. We have Rodek. That's going to be a natural 20
Like backwards. On who?
on Rodek.
20 to hit? Yeah, it hits.
It's a natural 20.
7,
So hopefully you don't get
handful we
crit
haven't
instantly,
tried
like
yet.
to your soul.
13 fire damage. 13 fire damage as as a burning lesion to you, and you start to kind of get ignited with this a chemical flame. We have Annulin. That's going to miss. We have Sylvie. That is going to hit, dealing 6 points of fire damage, and you get a burning lesion. As it catches you on fire. 1 against Avantris, that's going to miss, and I think that's everybody.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. It is Emiria's turn, and she is going to look around. How's everybody looking?
Doing
I'm not on
okay.
fire anymore.
Doing alright.
I'm not great, but
Keep swinging!
She's going to keep
I'm all
swinging.
right.
Both are going to hit.
We have to be most of the way through the list at this point.
Yeah, we only have.
We have less than half the list to try. Because there's 3 ingredients in it, and we've tried
Chalk,
like 12.
Stibnite, Arabic,
I'm gonna try Wolfram.
Realgar,
Have we done chalk?
Ether.
Okay.
No.
She slices through, and both manage to find purchase. Rodek, you're up.
I'm gonna make a power attack.
Okay.
That hits if their AC hasn't changed. What is that? 11 plus 6 is 17, 27.
27 points of damage to number what?
To the one right in front of me, 2.
Number 2. 27 points of damage. You slice her.
I'll do a power attack. Ooh, that is gonna miss. So that's plus 5. Yeah, that misses.
Okay, so you are trying to basically make quick work of it, but you unfortunately managed to miss this slow-moving creature.
That also misses.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
Yeah.
you miss both. Damage are up.
I'm attacking the one that's in front of me, which is just going to be
Okay.
number 3.
Yep.
It's going to be a 22.
No.
It's going to be 5, 10, 9 is 19, plus 8 is 27, plus 6 is 35.
35. You stab into it, and it looks like it almost dissipates, but it is barely holding on to its shape.
Bologna. It's my turn.
Okay. Annual, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna fire an arrow at 4. So that's 17 to hit.
17 to hit, that hits.
That's 10 damage. I'll fire
10 damage
second
number 1,
arrow.
sorry.
10
one are you
number
hitting?
4.
10 damage number 4, okay.
And
You fire an arrow.
second
pierces
attack
through.
misses.
Okay, and the other one fires off. It kind of shatters some of the liquids. With that, it's Sylvie's turn.
I'm gonna do to 1, 5, and 4.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
A 26 and a 19.
Okay, ball hit.
So we'll do the natural 20 first.
Which one?
Which one is the most alive?
Most alive is 1. That's the one that has some damage.
I'm gonna attack 1.
Okay.
A 17 damage.
17 damage to blast through, tearing its alchemical body.
And then 12 damage to number 4.
12 damage to number 4. Okay.
And then 7 damage to number 5.
No, I don't think
7
so.
damage to number 5. As both blast, and they do considerable damage to these creatures, but they are all still maintaining their shape. And they are all going to swing around again to make their attacks.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
One's going to miss Miria. We're going to do one on Rodek. That is going to be a 19 to hit. That's going to hit.
Wait a minute.
You may have done it already.
That is going to be 5 points of fire damage.
Oh, fuck.
No, wait a minute.
One on Avantris, natural 1. One on Annulin.
Okay.
That's going to miss. One on Sylvie. That is going to be a 14.
I thought...
Misses.
So-
Misses. Okay, Miria is up, and she is going to make 2 attacks on hers, and one's going to hit, one's going to crit.
Why did
Miria?
And she slices through hers, and it completely dissipates, so number 5 is dead. Rodek, you're up.
We were wrong, Sylvie, when we told you that blue vitriol is part of it.
I'll do. That hits.
It's okay. If it were the ingredient that was going to work, Mikey would have told us it wasn't part of it. So
10, 16, 26 damage.
26 damage to number
Number
what?
2.
Number 2, you slice it in 2, and it dissipates.
I'm going to turn around to number 1. Power attack.
Number 3 is your low too if you get through this guy.
That hits.
So which one?
Number 1.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 24 damage.
To number 1.
24 damage, you slice through this one.
Okay, move me up
Number
to
3.
Number 3. Power attack.
Attaboy.
That hits.
Jesus.
5,
Should be good
11, 21.
I mean, I hit it for
21 to
30
which?
3.
3? Yeah,
He's gotta be
kills it.
going.
And so 3 just like that are just completely...
Since I killed something, I'll move me up to number 4, and I'm using bonus action to attack.
Okay.
Power attack. That hits.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 24 damage.
Damn.
You kill... You see
this is why
Rodek,
you keep a fight.
Quadra kill!
and once again...
Keep going!
Alright, so we were wrong about the blue vitriol. So the ones that we haven't tried are blue vitriol. Read them off.
Yeah, we have blue vitriol, powdered
I do the
lodestone,
wolf
chalk,
one.
Stibnite.
I immediately put Wolfram in it.
You put Wolfram in,
Wolfram out.
and you push it in, and it
We did
shatters.
pitch, didn't we?
And
Yes.
Yes.
it billows up as you
Cross
see
Wolfram out.
a Reaper
Yeah, we got it.
face
Alright, so
holding its scythe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, and we have to try half of them before they spawn again. I mean, we're getting real close here.
I think we can handle this.
Yeah.
Try ether.
Yeah, that would be my vote.
Okay, you put in the ethereal powder and you mix it. You see Rodek mixing it. It bubbles over and shatters.
Damn it.
And
I put in Stibnite.
billows. Stibnite. You see Sylvie shatter, and it billows up. And
I want to look at the recipe.
you look at the recipe.
Is it clearly ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it kind of turn it upside down?
It seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems to be very simple, basic. It's not.
We're missing something simple, basic.
The order doesn't seem to be relevant here. As it
Have we done Realgar?
Let's do chalk.
11.
I'm gonna do fucking chalk.
is that 3, so this is 4.
I don't think we
Yes.
tried Realgar.
Okay.
No, this is 4.
Chalk
This is
blows
the
up.
fourth
Chalk blows up. 4th.
billows up. You see 4 hooded Reaper figures made out of alchemical fire and smoke.
you have one
I'm
more.
going gum
down.
Arabic. Let's do it. I haven't picked one in a while. I'm picking gum Arabic.
As you put in the gum Arabic. 5th Reaper.
Motherfucker.
They are all standing there.
Pardon my French.
They come down.
The 6th time they attack. And so
We've got one. We have
Give me the
25%
lodestone.
shot.
Give me the lodestone.
The powdered lodestone. All right, this is it.
11. You put in the powdered lodestone. Bubbles.
Mother of fuck. What are the chances?
And it billows up, and they all go down to attack. Let's just do another initiative round, please. Okay, they failed.
Finally, jeez.
20, 25.
I'm
26.
so fucked. I'm losing a lot of health.
26.
I got 21.
Damage, but
21. Okay. Rodic and Sully, what do you get?
11.
11. Rodic, what do you get?
5.
5. Oh, Jesus. Let me.
I can't believe this.
We've done one of Vitriol's before, haven't we?
Yes, we did white.
We did? Okay.
yeah.
So there's 2 options left. There's blue vitriol and real
Damage, you're up.
There's just no fucking way. I'm gonna attack the one right in front of me, number 3.
Yep.
Plenty.
Okay.
25. Or 26, actually. Not a great roll. That's gonna be 10. Plus. Oh, shit, that was a 2, sorry. That's gonna be 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 22. Plus 6 is 28 points of damage.
28 points of damage to number
3.
Number 3. You stab your rapier in, and it starts. This is the 3rd round of this. You're getting efficient at killing these guys.
Yeah.
It is Amiria's turn, and she is. Are they? Can we move one up to? They're not one at each person. And then get
Sorry, I
around
just
Amiria.
flipped
Fine.
them
Yeah, that's
over
fine.
where they were.
That's fine. Okay, cool. And then, so Amiria's just going to look at her, and she's going to just slice twice. Both are going to hit. Okay. She slices in. Slice, slice, slice. And... Okay. Annulin, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna fire 2 arrows at number 4. That's a bunch to hit. And
I'll
a
tell
bunch
you
to
later. I
hit.
can't say it on the stream.
16 plus 16. What's 16 and 16? 32?
Yep.
Okay, 32 damage.
32 damage, number
4.
Number 4.
It's gonna be
You
close.
blast through it with an arrow.
Nice. So I was off by like
Does it die?
Wait, you're taking the number 3 or 4?
Number 4.
Number 4. What were you attacking?
3.
3. Yeah. Okay. So it's alive.
Ooh.
Yeah. They have 40 hit points. 13 AC, 40 hit
Okay.
points.
Okay.
With that, it is Sylvie's turn.
So
I'm
41
just
was
gonna
enough.
do Eldritch Blasts at 1, 4, and 5.
Okay.
22,
Hits.
23,
Hits.
and 30.
Roll hit.
We just go absolutely ham on these dudes.
Usually much for damage. So one of them is a 13. One of them is a 9.
13 to what?
13 to 1.
Okay.
9 to 5. And 11 to 4.
11. You hit all of them. One of those, however, number 4, blasts through and it dissipates and explodes into smoke. With that, it is their turn. As one is going to slice in on Amiria, and that's going to miss. And then one is going to slice onto Rodek. That's going to miss. Vandris.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage, right?
I haven't mentioned it because you've missed every time.
Yeah, I missed on 7 plus that's 12. And then one on Sylvie, and that is going to be a 17.
Yep.
17 hits. So you have another burning lesion, and that is 7 points of fire damage.
They go away once they're gone.
Once
right?
you pat yourself out. Yeah. So just.
So I only have 1.
Yes. Rodek, you're up.
I'm gonna turn to number 3,
Okay.
and I will power attack. That hits.
Okay.
I'll roll both. A little better. 8 plus 6 is 14, 24 damage.
And you slice right through it.
I actually miss on that one. I hit on that one. Six, 10, 26 damage.
To number what?
To number 3.
Number 3 is already dead, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said slice through it, but I didn't know if that meant you.
Oh, that was already dead? Yeah, so let's say I did it on number 2.
Number 2, that was untouched, so 23 points of damage. You slice into it.
Since I killed that guy, I will use my bonus action to make an attack. I totally forgot.
You were so close to that, 20.
Okay, you miss, and then with that, it's Avantris' turn.
Okay. I'm going to turn around and attack the one. Actually, I'm going to go help and engaged. I'm going to get this guy. 13, baby.
13, barely.
Barely fucking did it. That's all you need.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's going to be a 10. That's going to be an 11, so that's 21.
To number...
No, I'm not done. Plus 6 is 27, plus 7 is 27, 28. Sorry, 27 plus 6 is 33 points of damage to that one.
Number 1?
Yep.
Number 1, you stab Venom Spine into it, and then it explodes.
Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. With that, it is Miria's turn. She's going to slice into it. Both are going to hit. Wow, rolling hot for Miria. And she's going to swing in and with a flourishing spin, she slices through it and it evaporates. So number 5 is dead. And then number 2 is the only one that's alive, and that is Annual's turn.
And fire 2 arrows at it. I think one
12
of them...
plus 4.
What's 8? Is it?
Yeah, your bow, the strong bow, is plus 12.
I've been adding the wrong thing.
I had a feeling.
I've been adding 8 this whole time.
Yeah, 12 would be, no.
You literally can't miss.
Unless you hit a 1.
Unless you hit a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we know. So 16 did and below. So they both hit.
You married her.
Did I? Is it too late to do
one
that? I kid.
I
love my
remember
wife.
I was at the wedding. You looked really happy at that time.
I remember crying.
It's every day since then that you
18 plus 16.
I didn't say those were tears of joy.
You completely obliterate it as it flies in.
That's good. Are they all dead?
As they're all dead, and the smoke clears.
I literally have a 50-50 shot.
We need to stop, please. I don't want to fight any more things.
Well, there's only one left.
I need to let you...
2, maybe.
12.
No, because the other one. The other one is blue vitriol, which we mentioned.
Have we? Are they combined? Are the 3 combined?
And Mikey said yes, we hadn't, so we know that can't be one of them. That's all I'm saying.
So are the 3 currently combined?
What is it? It's all reset.
So we're just adding one thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're adding an additional one every time. You're still making it.
We're doing plus 1, plus 1, plus 1.
So the 3 are already in there, right?
No. We have to add it ourselves.
Okay. So I'm going to add the first 3 in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn and say, no one get close.
11 balls.
Why?
We've already tried that.
No. We never let the clock run out.
I did.
We didn't let the clock run
The
down.
clock has not run out.
All we did was ask Mike if anything happened. He said no. We didn't let the time run out.
We've got enough chances to just try what's left and then try it as a third option. I don't want to get to the end of the clock and get fucked. So
I kind of agree with that.
All right, that's fine.
So put in the other one that's not the
Whatever
full
left.
vitriol.
So do the real gar.
Put in real gar.
Real gar.
Real gar. You pour in the real gar, and it bubbles and explodes and billows up into the air.
Okay. Last one.
As
Sylvie's convinced that the last
12
one.
balls.
I guess Nikki's convinced the last one isn't a thing. We try it. We have one more chance, and we let the timer run out.
All right.
Try the blue vitriol.
blue vitriol, you try it, rumble, whoosh, as 2 Grim Reaper
this
faces.
is horse shit. You let the timer run out.
Let the time run out. He crossed it out for a reason. Time's the
That is
missing ingredient.
literally why I asked what would happen if we just put the 3 in.
And all he said
that
was
works. That's ridiculous.
all he said was the timer keeps going. We didn't let the timer run out, and then
all
we
he
decided
said.
to add another ingredient.
Like you're running out of
balls.
time.
8 bombs. 7. 6.
I draw my rapier and I wait.
5.
fucking mad.
The clock ticks down
I can't
lower
wait to
than
be
it
that
ever
fucking
has
on to figure that
before.
out.
You didn't.
4.
You figured it out earlier.
The room gets darker and darker, except for the hovering green specters staring at you with evil eyes. It bongs twice. The room is now pitch black, and the Reapers loom larger than ever. One final bong, and the room begins to shake, and the Reapers fill the entire room, and you hear the shattering of glass all around you. The final chime rings out, and the clock stops. You're in pitch blackness as you see the looming alchemical specters dissipate. The absurd darkness of the room leaves. The tables are now empty, and the mirror lies shattered on the ground before you.
God damn it.
As the moonlight returns to the room, the spirit of Ingrid floats above you with a sad smile. Let me switch my playlist here.
I'm ashamed of myself.
I know, me too.
Thank you, deities. I just wish little Alphonse could have accepted that eventually our time comes. And we meet our end. All of us. And the key to fulfilling life is to take your time to live the best you can. You can't run forever. And that's okay. It's life. That was my lesson until the very end. And now I remember. I was very pleasantly surprised when I learned that young Messer Alphonse had made a surprise visit. When he called me into his room to fix his clock, which had been acting up as late, I was happy to help. He told me to tidy up the room and that he wanted it to be looking spotless and presentable, as he'd be inviting friends into our home. I had just finished the task when he stabbed me in the side. Those guests he meant were terrible beasties. But invite them in he did all the same. And the one, the girl with no sense of modesty, seemed the most conniving. I knew she was up to no good the day she arrived, and I suppose Alphonse did as well. One day, after a long time they had been working together, he invited her to his room for a drink. And whatever he gave her made her head over heels in love with him. And whatever he drank himself steeled his body. For as she leaned in to give him a kiss of death, he didn't die. She had taken his soul, sure. His horrible red eyes and fangs showed that as clear as day. But lived he did. If you can call the monster he became a living creature. He told her to keep his soul safe inside her. And every night he gives her the same drink that pacifies her. And neither of them have aged. As years turn to decades, turn to centuries. Maybe tricking and betraying everyone is finally bringing my little Alphonse happiness. But I don't think it is. In the things he's done, I can't even forgive him for as much as I want. As he left me for dead, he heard his sister crying in the dining room and immediately headed for her. He hated that poor little girl. The crying drove him nuts. I think I hear her crying now. Let's go try to cheer her up, shall we? She turns into a mote of light and leaves the door, and you hear a loud unlocking sound. You are in his bedroom.
Well, we're alive. I'm ashamed of myself that we didn't end that sooner.
I too am ashamed in you.
I should have known right away.
Derek's probably slamming.
But I never knew. I would I'd like to go out the door.
Okay.
And keep my head down the hallway.
You do that. You look down, and you see that there is a staircase leading downwards.
Nowhere to go but that direction. Let's get this over with.
All right, shall we?
Amir, you hanging in there?
I'm fine. She's kind of patting herself off. You can kind of see some burns where the alchemical fire had let it go, and she follows after you. And as she's walking down the hallway, she kind of puts her arm on you, Avantris, and she says, I was hiding this from you, and no one else noticed. I saw in the glass that the sword fell out of it. And she said that this was the Edward kids.
You mean all the way back in the library? I'm sorry I walked out so fast.
It's fine, I kind of thought it was cool, and it's not something that I would use, but you might be better equipped to use it.
I'll certainly take a look.
She hands it to you, and you see a very long rapier with kind of this strange, slight blue glow to the metal, and kind of an elegantly carved or crafted silver pommel and handle. And as you continue down the stairwell,
I'm gonna take a look in the glass before I leave the room.
okay, as you root around in the glass, you don't seem to find anything in this one. And as you make your way down the stairs, you start to approach the dining room. And you begin hearing the wailing of a little girl echoing down the hallway.
Does the sword that Amira gave me have its own scabbard sheath?
Yes, it does.
I'm just gonna sling it over my back and keep it under my cloak.
Okay, you do that. And with that, you come to this hallway.
So we're going back down.
You're going back downstairs. You make your way downstairs as the hallway extends out in front of you. It's ancient and worn. You see door after door of rubble and ruin. As you see a door to your left and a door to your right. The door up ahead to your left is blue and glowing, and you hear the wailing of a little girl. What are you guys doing?
All we can do is press forward.
Let's go. We know what we have to do.
Open the door.
Okay. As you approach the dining room, you hear the wailing of a little girl echoing down the hallway.
Do we have enough slack here? Okay. Sorry, continue, Mike.
As soon as you open the door to the dining room, you see a gorgeous and inviting banquet set out for hundreds of guests. Many long tables and chairs fill the space, and every inch of every table is completely stuffed with the most decadent food you can imagine, for dozens of courses. Great roast beasts, sizzling seafood, delightful hors d'oeuvres, succulent desserts, the finest cheeses, and every rare food of high society that you could imagine. At the head of the table, filled with the most elegant and extravagant dishes of the world. Or rather, of the whole room, there are 5 chairs facing this massive dining room. But only one seat in the entire room is filled. You see a doll, the size of a child, sitting in one of those seats. And it's moving.
No.
Its porcelain face is wrenched in agony, and it's crying incredibly loudly. Wet tears streaming down its face.
Ugh.
Behind this head table is an enormous mirror. And that's where we're on the session.
For real?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
All right. Well, Avantris may never be scared, but Andy is terrified.
Yeah, fuck dolls.
Oh man! Can we look at it? Can we do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we might as well reveal.
You might as well reveal
I
it.
think we're good here. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's it. It's a banquet hall. And then yes, and then it's all happy, and we all get to ride off into the sunset and not be murdered by terrifying crying dolls.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so anyways, thanks for coming and hanging out with us and playing Legends of Avantris Prime. I think what we are streaming next, Beneath Dark Wings, on Saturday. I believe we'll be starting at around 2 p.m. depending on technical difficulties. Hopefully not. We'll be filming our Avantris and Chill session right now. And so we will be doing that, so stay tuned if you're a subscriber.
Yeah, so if you don't know what that is, we've decided we're going to start doing sub-perks for... there it is.
Yeah, he knows. You finally got it.
I'm going to try... what I was saying was we're doing sub-perks for people who are our subs. We want to give you guys cool stuff. So Avantris and Chill is just something that we do after the stream where when we're no longer live, all of us talk about the session that we just had, and then we immediately post it in the Discord, in the subscribers-only Discord, and on YouTube for subscribers only. So if you want to get some behind-the-scenes stuff with us just chatting and talking about literally anything, the session, what we had for dinner, literally anything, just some behind-the-scenes cool stuff, be a sub and get the perk.
Yeah.
And if you are a sub and you're watching these, please let us know what you think. We want some feedback. We want to know if you guys like this stuff. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it, and if you don't, we'll try to come up with some other cool sub perks.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far we think that it's been really good, a lot of success. We've had fun doing it, so just let us know what you guys think, please.
Okay, yeah, great. And I think we're going to raid somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna raid. D&D.
Oh, Mew enjoys the chill videos. I'm glad.
good.
I'm glad to hear that.
We're going to raid D&D Vinity.
Yeah.
So spread the love of the Avantris fam.
Vinity. Oh, I like that.
We flash your hooters.
I like that
We're
name.
playing D&D. I don't know, some kind of D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Let us know how it goes.
So anyways,
Say
we'll
hi.
see you on Saturday, and then Avantris Prime is next.
Yeah, don't miss next week because this shit's gonna go crazy. We gotta fight Alphonse soon here.
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
Good night.
Hi.
Have a good night.